The OnePlus 9 Pro.
The OnePlus 9 Pro. Oh my god, this phone feels incredible. The best processor, 120 hertz, 12 gigs of RAM, and a Hasselblad camera. What more could you want?
The HyperTouch on this bad boy is phenomenal.
The best model of OnePlus phone I have used to date.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome back here to the PUBG Mobile Club Open Fall Split 2021. I'm Hot Jukes here with Spad Cargo. Spad Cargo,
Hello.
What is going on?
Nothing much. I'm excited to get down and watch some more PUBG as per usual. How about you, Jukes?
Oh, man, always pumped up to see some PUBG Mobile action. Definitely is a way to just settle the nerves and just get everything all set up here. So we've had a couple, 3 days now in the books. 3 more left to go, including today. And now we're pretty much at the halfway mark of the qualifiers, right?
Yeah.
So this is, I think, a critical moment for some of these teams in these groups. They got to come in strong here unless they want to get left behind. What do you think?
I don't disagree. It's the same pressure as last night. I mean, last night we had A and C playing. Tonight we're going to have B and D, and it's that same thing where after 2 games today, all these guys are going to be halfway done with their total amount of matches because they only have 12 games in total. Right when they get, to the 6 games, they really have to start taking a look at what they're doing, where they're standing on that leaderboard, and really start preparing for how many more days they have left to be playing. So today is going to be huge for all of the teams in B and D to really find themselves, figure out where they are on that leaderboard, going ahead and even back up with the rest of those groups.
A lot of big teams coming back to play today because they got to sit out yesterday and watch some squads, and that's going to be all the teams inside of Group B. So you got Wall Street Bets coming back here with Kine leading the charge. You got Godsent, obviously, just a squad that has been really hitting it hard. Now, because of them not playing as many matches as the rest of the squads, we're gonna, when we pull up the leaderboards here in a little while, you're gonna see them be a lot further down than you would expect. But I do not expect that to be that way for very much longer because after they get these 4 matches, they're gonna be flying up the leaderboards.
Yeah, I actually went on ahead and I wrote down all their positioning in comparison to everybody else, but we will be taking a look at that in a moment. But first, we have to go on ahead and go through our usual stuff. First of all, we already said that it is going to be groups B and D, and it's going to be the same format as per usual. You guys are used to it. Erangel, Sanhok, Miramar, Erangel, and also let's take a look at that overall format, Jukes.
Yeah, you can see that format right there. Group stage is 32 teams per region. 4 groups is what we're playing here. 6 days of competition, 4 matches per day, and the top teams are going to advance to the finals. And I'm not going to lie, if you're one of the top squads, you need to be in the top 8, in my opinion, if you're really, really looking to feel comfortable moving on.
Exactly. I mean, you have to be in the top 8 to go ahead and move on into those finals. It's going to happen later on at the end of this next week. And even those top teams have to advance to PMPL. So, of course, a lot of stress, a lot of weight coming into all of these games. This is really what it comes down to. And like I already said, by the end of these games today, that's really where they're going to have to take a look at their performance and see whether or not they're going to be able to make that top 8 to move on. And let's actually take a look at the point system.
Yeah, let's get to it. Let's see right now exactly how many points is it going to take for these squads to be able to get their hands on some of those crucial points to move on to the next stage. First place, the chicken dinner, going to give you 15 points. Second, going to give you 12. Third, 10, and then just going on down the line from there. But you can just see it drops off big, especially when you get to 8th place. 8th through 12th, 1 point. 13th through 16th. The goose egg and the ever important 1 kill equals 1 point.
Yeah, I always say it, got to go on ahead and stress staying alive as long as possible and get those placement points, and that'll mean that you're in the game being able to shoot at a lot more people and increase those kill points. So I still do think there are a couple teams that are kind of struggling in that aspect, either go really hard being aggressive. They do get a lot of kills, but not quite enough placement points, or the complete opposite. They are able to stay alive for a while and getting in that mid-range of getting placement points, but unfortunately are just not getting kills and then going ahead and be taken out before they get any further. Have to go ahead and be consistent, get it both at this point.
That dang right. Well, I'll tell you what. let's talk about the thing that everybody wants to know is how much money is on the line. That's what's the most important. How much cheddar is up for grabs. Let's go ahead and remind you guys of the prize pool that these guys are playing for. Now, I'm going to be honest with you. It says $30,000, which is the highest of any PMCO I've seen in the past. But I don't think that this is just realistic, to be honest, because first place, $4,000. Second place, $2,500. But what you really win is moving on to the next round and next stages coming up. And I'll tell you what, the prize pools that are coming out here after this are a life-changing amount of money. So these players, they are going for those top prizes guaranteed, Span.
Yeah, at least want to be in that 8th place position, which will give you $1,150. Even if you go on ahead and get towards that bottom, you're still going to get at least $500. But yeah, you're right. Everything moving on into this next round, into the finals and further, that's really where these guys are aiming for, because it's just going to increase from there, especially just the competitiveness as well, which is exciting.
The competitiveness, and then obviously, you know, if you're able to be one of the top couple squads from there, then you have a chance to even move on to PMPL, you know, and that's when it starts to get really, really serious. And it's crazy to see, because we've seen some players inside of this tournament make their careers and their lives change. And what automatically come to mind, you know, Kill Switch. He started off on his own team, made such a huge shining, got picked up by another squad, and now he is a household name for North America when it comes to competitive PUBG Mobile. And I can't wait to see which players and which teams we're going to see do something similar here.
I don't disagree. I'm looking forward to it as well. I mean, so far we have been able to see a lot of people, a lot of individual players as well, really going ahead and show what they have inside of all these games that we have been able to see these last few days. But that might give us an indication going into finals, going into even further MVPs, or you already said it, household names. I'm curious to see who we're going to recognize in that future. So this is the starting point. It's kind of exciting seeing all these guys are right now where they're currently at and where they could potentially be further down the line.
Yeah, we've only hit the halfway point right now, so it's hard to kind of really pinpoint, I think, those squads, you know, but I think now that we're starting to get into today's matches, I think this is going to be a really crucial time for those people to really start standing out. So we'll see how that all turns out. Let's take a look at the schedule here. A quick reminder again to show you guys exactly what will be going on here today, and you can see that the schedule is going to be in Erangel, and then it's going to go to Sanhok, and then to Miramar, and then back in Erangel once again. So the same, you know, map rotations that we have been doing here for so long. And I love it. I love it, Span. What else can I say? It's good. Solid.
Yeah, it is solid.
What do you think? I'm sorry, real quick. Yeah, what do you think is, if you could make a change to the map schedule, right? Would you want to add another Sanhok or add another Miramar, or leave it as it is? What do you think?
Add another Miramar if I had to, yeah.
Oh, it's so nice. It's so good. I mean, oh, man, we just see the toxicity. That last game we saw, the two gooses, right? The two gooses went at it at the end.
That was nuts.
And we found out which was the superior goose. And you can't do that anywhere else in Miramar, in my opinion.
I mean, I think it was a perfect setting. But yeah, I am a fan of those bigger maps. I mean, don't get me wrong. Sanhok is perfect to really showcase in teams and their fighting capabilities. So I do think that is a good map to have in there to really focus on a different kind of gameplay aspect. But definitely Erangel, Miramar, my favorite to watch. And I really do think that potentially the players, I mean, they have a longer chance to play out through that game. And I think just the bigger 8x8 maps are just really exciting to watch. So if I did have to add anything, I would add a 5th match, and it would be on Miramar.
Yeah, just double it up, right? More PUBG Mobile action to watch. I can't complain right there. I'll say one thing. I think a really good thing about these games that are going to be coming up today is the opportunity to see new teams really start shining, because in all honesty, HTV Esports, they have been crushing it. They've been doing a really, really good job. They're not going to be in this lobby. So I think some of these other squads, they didn't definitely recognize that, all right, there's a lot of heavy-hitting teams that are not going to be here. I mean, there's definitely still some serious squads. But, hey, this could be that opportunity to put some major points on the leaderboard. So hopefully you can start passing them up.
Let's actually go on ahead and take a look at a little bit of a video before we go over those teams in more specific detail. So we'll see you guys shortly.
the OnePlus 9 Pro.
The OnePlus 9 Pro. Oh my god, this phone feels incredible. The best processor, 120 hertz, 12 gigs of RAM, and a Hasselblad camera. What more could you want?
The hyper touch on this bad boy is phenomenal.
The best model of OnePlus phone I have used to date.
OnePlus with that immersive sound. Love to see that right there. So, man, we're getting everything here started. We're getting the players loaded up into the lobby, getting everything ready. I know some of you guys watching are always just instantly like, stop talk, start play. Don't worry, we're going to get started here in just a few moments, guys. So, hold your horses. The action's coming. The action's coming for sure. So, why don't we go ahead and, intro some of the squads, huh, Span? Show them exactly who's going to be playing today. Because we've been talking about these different groups, but we want to show you the exact team names here. So you can see, obviously, Group B, you got Wall Street Bets. Straight out of Nepal, Better Than You, Godsent, Six Elites, Walls Castle, The Terror, and Featuring. And then you got Group D over there. Span, you want to go ahead and list those names off?
I would love to. Group D is The Chosen, Team OP, Pakistani Rising Stars, Rejects, Godplay, Null, Self-Made, and Vamp. And today I do think we have a lot of people to keep our eyes on. Specifically, I wrote down 4 teams that I'm going to be keeping an eye on. Those guys towards the top of the leaderboard for these 2 groups today. And oh my goodness, I'm looking forward to it. I do think we have a lot of teams in this lobby that are going to be butting heads.
Oh, absolutely. I'll tell you right now, right off the bat from all these team names, Team OP is one that I see constantly in the chat. So I know a lot of people are rooting for Team OP, and they got a lot of hype around them. So I'm going to keep anytime you see a squad that has a lot of hype, I'm going to be keeping a close eye on them. That's for sure. And personally, just from, being in the scene so long, Wall Street Bets, you got King A, who is an absolute legend in the North American competitive play scene. So I'm expecting big things from them. And then, of course, Godsent, which has been a household name in NA PUBG Mobile. So those are the 3 teams I'm going to be looking at in particular. I'm Span. I have a feeling that you may be around the same. But is there any other squads you think? Right?
My list really very much is very similar. I have Vamp, Godsent, Team OP, and Wall Street Bets because those are the teams that are towards the top of the leaderboard for the group. Those are the 4. And then, of course, the other people I do believe I want to keep an eye on as well is Null because they are a team that I was told to keep an eye on from the beginning. And I do think we were able to see that more towards the end of the games that they last played. But here we go. Here's another day that we're going to be able to see them playing. And I have a little bit higher expectations for them to go ahead and come back.
Yeah, absolutely. Null is another team that I've seen before in the past. They could definitely make some things happen. So if they're able to come out hot, I think they should be able to start off strong. That's the most important thing, especially when it comes to this late in the game. Is you got to start off with that first Erangel game just coming out hot. And now, Span, I think the excuse of these teams don't know each other, so they don't know where to drop, that has to be over by now, right?
I do think it's over. I think it's over after the first day because after the first day of, A, B, C, D, they go on ahead and play. Everybody's obviously watching. Everybody's obviously going through the VODs, seeing where people drop. The only difference is that potentially now that we have B and D, they haven't played together yet. If there are teams that usually go to the same locations, they have to kind of decide, okay, are we going to continue to drop there? Or are we going to risk going somewhere else? A place that we're not entirely used to dropping, rotating out of. What if somebody else is also contested? They also decide to go to that open spot that's not quite open anymore. So there is still a little bit of unsureness coming into this last one, but I'm sure that these guys have probably figured it out. Like these guys, it's usually good not to drop on each other early on. So I'm sure something has been figured out. I'm not expecting that many hot drops, but we'll have to wait and see, especially if the plane paths are as bad as last night.
That's for sure. That's for sure. And I want to ask you this, now if you're going to have some teams that have done the research and noticed that they have a possibility of dropping in the same location, what do you feel the importance is to challenge them and to say, hey, this is our spot, of course, for the finals and future things coming up? How do you feel? What do you feel about that in your experience?
I always think if you believe it's definitely a team you could contest successfully, you should do it because it's the confidence thing. Even if the
Right?
mentality of it as well. If you're able to go on ahead and drop it, I like what do I like to call it?
Right?
Oh, man, it just fell out of my head. But it's that thing where you have to go on ahead and hot drop contest. You have to take the fight because that's just showing your the word did fall in my head.
This is my
Domination, I
house,
guess we'll say.
right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly. It's like
yeah,
they feed on that
exactly.
location. It's theirs now. Nobody else can come. And that does help you down the line as well because it could make that other person like, "Oh crap, we got to get out of here," a little bit unsure with their fight going forward, but that again, it's all mind games really. It's a big part. And then you're used to that location, that's going to be huge for your team. Like if that's what you've practiced, you have to go on ahead and at least give it a chance to take it for yourself.
Makes sense. And I think there's no better chance to do that than here inside the PMCO. Nice and early on where, it's a little bit easier to move on to the next stage. Come finals time, those slots to be able to move on are going to be very, very short and few. So if you're able to go and say, hey, this is my casa, get out of here. I think it's going to be huge. And the thing is that we've seen it happen before. Like we have seen plenty of teams battle it out. And I've seen squads, go twice. Usually when they battle it out twice, and if they lose twice in a row, it's like they just put their tail into their legs and are like, yo, we got to drop somewhere else, man. We can't be going out this early.
And then we usually see those teams that do go somewhere else, unfortunately, after being beaten for their spot, they end up not doing as well. So it really is, you have to make sure you can get your normal drop spot, or that's why a lot of teams have alt drops as well, that maybe your alt drop would be a place that you can go ahead and succeed from as well.
Yeah, those alt drops, you got to make sure that you are prepared. And I'll tell you one thing. There ain't no better way to be prepared than with the new OnePlus 9 Pro, guys. Of course, with their flagship performance and immersive 120 Hz display and new technology like HyperTouch built specifically for gamers, the OnePlus 9 and the OnePlus 9 Pro, got one right here, are your best shot in order to climb the leaderboard. So, guys, make sure you go get your hands on one. I got to tell you what, that warp charge is unbelievable, Span. It's insane, dude. Like less than 30 minutes, almost had a full battery. I love it. Guys.
Oh,
You guys
wow.
gotta try one out. But here we go. I think I can hear the footsteps. Finally, these players are getting loaded in the planes, man. We're only a few seconds away from the first match.
I'm looking forward to it. Erangel, it's always a great time. And yeah, you're right. I do hear us. We're getting in the plane, everybody getting on their backpacks, putting on their shoes. I don't know what else, getting ready to go on ahead and jump on in. As we already said, it's getting ready to go to their usual drop spot. And I'm curious, is the plane path going to be as bad as the one last night? We're going to see shortly, Jukes.
Let's see it. Let's see it as we move on into the game. Ladies and gentlemen, this is your captain speaking. Jukes, as you can see, we got a plane path coming from Milta. You got your Stalber on your left, where all the top teams love to land. Kameshki as well. Always an option.
Yeah, you're not wrong. Silver Kameshki, definitely an option in coming into this plane path. And honestly, this isn't too bad. A little bit more up to that northeastern side, but not terrible. I mean, anybody who goes quarry, Pure Prim, and military base, gonna have a little bit of a hard time, but still, over the mainland of Erangel, it's not too bad. Not too shabby.
I'll tell you what, last night, the Span Cargo crystal ball was in full effect. You had some predictions and nailed it. I think you were 100% effective. That's insane. It's first circle, about to go on up. Is it going to go into that beloved Gatka area for Span? That's what I'm going to be keeping an eye out as we see some teams jumping off and start to separate.
I'm going to say no, because I kind of want to see a zone that goes up more towards that northeastern side, because I don't think we've fully gotten one up there just yet, or maybe even around that Yasnaya area, like Mansion. I think I want to see a zone more towards that spot for this one, but I mean, we'll see shortly. Not control of it. Oh, it does go north, but not quite the way I wanted. It doesn't go northeast, but it will go north a little bit further towards the west, centering more around shooting range. But again, you kind of have to decide 50-50. Would you go to the north of this river or the south?
I'd go north. I think that there's just certain spots. There's that little, of course, that little Red House compound where they have that nice little flat land option. That's one of my favorite spots when it comes to these particular circles, because if it does hard shift south, you can just cross that bridge and just get right back into the action, you know? So I think that's going to be one of the high spot locations. Personally, though, I ain't gonna lie, Span. My dream zone finish, Zarky.
Oh,
it never happens.
Zarky.
When's the last time?
I haven't seen him in a long time.
I think I've out of the entire PUBG Mobile career, like 3 years of playing this game, I think I've had 2 Zarky finishes ever.
I don't think I haven't got one in my PUBG Mobile career. I've gotten one in my PUBG one, but not my PUBG Mobile now. So I've gotten water like in Lipovka. That was insane time. But yeah, not Zarky just yet. I don't quite know how they would play that. So you're right. Okay, I've added that onto my bucket list as well.
There we go. Why not? I mean, because you got to think about it. I guarantee you, if there's a Zarky finish, these teams have no clue what to do. You know, like they're just going, I think there's a rock up here. You know, that's it. You know, Gatka, like the back of their hand, that's for sure. But Zarky, the unknown territory. But hey, you know, getting back to the whole point of the matter here, we're looking at South George. See a few teams, the Terror. You know, they at the first day, they started off really rough. They got 2 members eliminated really early from a kind of a bad push. But then they bounced back in the rest of the day. So I'm going to be kind of looking at the Terror. They're kind of in the middle of the pack, you know, as far as with their, you know, overall placements. But I have a feeling that this is a squad that could really make it happen if they start off strong.
Yeah, right now they're overall in that 18th place spot with a total of 38 points. But honestly, again, in that area, the person above them is only 1 point away. So we've stressed it a bunch of times now that this leaderboard is very flexible, and that a singular game, somebody could completely change their spot on it. So they are currently on that 18th place spot. A team I'm looking for, Nola, is 2 places below that in 20th. So we're, you know, just one good game and they could launch themselves up to the top of the leaderboard. And we saw that last night with Ogilvy. So will somebody else go ahead and actually be able to follow just like that as well?
Ogilvy, how many teams did they pass up? Like it was more than 10. It was like 7th. And now they're in 5th. Yeah. Woo! So more than 22 teams they passed up in just one day. So, well, you know, a little grain of salt considering that Group B only had 4 matches, but still, that kind of jump, I mean, I would be ecstatic if I was Ogilvy. That's for sure.
Exactly. So will somebody else be able to do the same thing? Oh, Team P on that ambush almost working out for Pakistani Rising Stars. They're able to take one pretty low HP, but in the vehicle able to drive right on back to safety. Kashuf, though, still at that compound. Ooh, Rising Stars actually getting their vehicles. Do you think this crash might happen? Kashuf,
no way.
I believe he's the IGL. Oh, no, looks like they're driving away.
Yeah, I was about to say, like, dang, that would have been hot.
I mean, they almost
won. Yeah, they almost 1-2-3'd that dude. You know what I'm talking about, Span? Like when they're just both standing next to each other, like, all right, 1, 2, 3, bah! You know, just all fired at the same time.
Firing
but
squad.
not able to catch him out the car, unfortunately. This spot right here. This is the spot I was talking about. That little flat position. Okay. Oh, I love it. I love it.
I like it up here on this little land where they're currently standing. Just sending one up here, 1 or 2, and then have everybody else inside that compound where it's nice and safe. I think that's a really great place to be able to play out of. And it looks like they just got there, kind of scouting out, figuring out a place further up to the northern side to play, potentially, or just getting at that compound for right now, you know, seeing if that's even a place that they're able to play. Wall Street Bets, not too far away, a little bit more to the west. They have the compound up on top of the hill. This is actually my favorite spot if I had to choose one up here, because this compound, first of all, I feel like the zones love this compound. You can have one person up on this hill over here, everybody else in that compound, and it's very hard to push. The only angle to push is that hill on the southern side, so that's usually a pretty safe spot, in my opinion.
Oh, it makes sense. Absolutely. I mean, any team that wants to crash on you, they have to basically drive or run out in the open. So that's a great area to defend, that's for sure. We see straight out of DePaul decide to take the plane crashing right over here by shooting range, which is not a particularly bad location if they're a little nice and looted up. No, they're in the dream location. Stallber, baby. Stallber.
Yeah, but it looks like they're slowly making their way on over. Maybe looting up a tiny bit more. I don't quite know where the... Yeah, you know, they're gonna chill there for now. They're like, oh, look, we're here. Meanwhile, Rising Stars are gonna actually go past them. So they're gonna let some people in front of them inside this zone. May or may not be a good thing.
Is Stallber. You know what I'm saying? Stallber, the ultimate place to contest. You know, it's just funny how that ended up working out right there. But everybody, you know, I don't blame a lot of these teams when you have this kind of like hard shift to the north, just getting in some vehicles, looting it quick, and start heading up there already. So that way, because I mean, at the end of the day, you know for a fact no team is in that area if you move fast enough. So you can kind of get set up quickly, get some nice loot for free, you know. But you got to find those vehicles. You got to get moving quick.
Exactly. I mean, at one point, loot phase is over. Engagements will start to happen. I feel like that's kind of what's happening right here between Rejects and the Terror. I mean, we can see the Psyche is definitely aware that somebody is right beside him, kind of taking it slow for now. And honestly, this is very far over towards the western side of this zone. I don't know if I would want to be taking this fight, but I guess they're alone enough that they potentially could, and they would be safe to third parties. But
I'm just interested to see Storm. Like, what is he doing? Because, like, so we see them at apartments, and then you got him at Storm at front 6. But why is he looking towards apartments? You know, interesting.
I'm not sure. he's watching his teammates back.
That's right. That's right. Hey, okay, you missed a drink. You know, you missed a drink. I saw it. I can look at it through this door right here. Right? So, I mean, hey, you got to make sure that your team is looting properly.
Exactly. Micromanage everything. No, I'm just kidding. Oh, well, it looks like Gotza and Null almost got close. Everybody's just slowly trying to find their way on in. I like that we're actually being able to watch them slowly get closer and closer, you know, kind of doing those bunny hops. They find a good safe location, then they look further in, see what else is open, go drive there, look around, see what else is open, drive again, and so on. The process, try and find yourself a better spot. But at this point, kind of got to slow down, wait for that zone to pop, and even further up to the northern side it goes, and that is a lot of water, I have to say, like almost half water. I mean, a little bit more land than 50%, but... I mean, up to the northern side of that river, we knew that it was going to go up there, but at this point, I'm not quite sure where else. So these guys have to choose a really good spot to get prepared.
Definitely. And you know, anytime you get a water circle like this, half in water, that means there's half the amount of land and real estate in order to be able to take up. So these teams definitely need to get moving quicker because this is more like a zone, you know, 3 or 4 in size due to the water that's in play here. So it's going to be interesting to see where the next zone is going to finish it up. And it looks like teams are thinking exactly that because we're seeing squads move quickly into this next zone.
Oh, and it looks like 2 of them now running into each other. The Chosen tossing up some nades towards Wall Street Best. Looks like King A hitting the deck, laying prone for now. Can't quite spawn out. They have a little bit of a height advantage, and there we go, kind of moving away for now. Wait a second, Godsend might be getting involved. They appeared up on top of the hill and instantly turned around when they heard those nades, it seems.
So you know what? I want to play this safe. I don't want to go ahead and make any mistakes right now. But you can just see a nice little nade battle coming out. Chosen, looks like they're choosing to get on out of here as well. Can't say I blame them considering the elevation here that they're at. But they're gonna have to fight. They're gonna have to take this fight. I don't think they have a choice. King A got a really good angle, but not looking to take any chances at this point. Not trying to get caught out. So
I like the slight disengage though. I like the slight disengage. It got them the ridge, so that's going to provide them some nice cover that they actually needed. They were out in the open completely previously. Wall Street Bets, like being above them, they had a perfect opportunity to really spot them out, but that little disengage over to those 2 ridges that gave them the safety that they needed, and it looks like Wall Street Bets realizing that. I mean, they have to back up now because the Chosen, they're in charge of the peaks. They can just peek over this ridge and do some damage, so yeah, look at them. They kind of backed up. Laying prone.
Little tiny head versus your whole body standing up. That's not a disadvantage you want to put yourself at. Looks like Wall Street Bets, they realized that, moved on back, and they're just looking to find a little bit of a place to call home. I think you're going to see a nice vehicle placement there just in case, covering that angle, get some coverage. But at the same time, I think they want to protect that vehicle because this zone can go anywhere.
Yeah, still circle 1, 2, into 3. You really have to protect your vehicles. Make sure they don't get tires popped, explode. I don't know, roll away, run away. Who knows? Because you're right. I mean, if the zone it has the opportunity to hard shift. They're currently towards that center part, but what if it goes hard to the east, hard to the west? Then you're in a little bit of a difficult situation. Looks like finally this fight over here has started, but it's not between the two teams that we were expecting. Instead, another one going on ahead and joining the fight. Walls Castle trying to make a rotation. They already lost 1. 3 are still up, but they're kind of stuck with this bridge. Rejects the man, tossing over a nade, and he is going to get the knock onto Bad Boy Clutch.
Huge play right there. Only 1 left up for Walls Castle. I think it's only a matter of time here, though. He is going to get finished out. So they have 1 remaining member off to another. Yeah, okay. On the other side of this is South George. So he's just gonna have to hang out and eat a whole bunch of blue zone, I think, and wait for rejects to pass him up.
Yeah, unfortunate that they ran into each other. I wonder if they were trying to use that bridge to rotate and then rejects were able to just hold them out. But otherwise, it would have been a good rotation because the zone did, in fact, kind of hard shift over towards that west. So, I mean, the rest of them should be having a nice rotation straight up to the northern side and get in on that west. But unfortunately for one of the teams, only just has 1 person left. Definitely not ideal, but everybody has to get back on their vehicles and start making the move. This hard shift, you gotta go. Get yourself a spot.
It's a tough one. That's what we're talking about, the importance of having that vehicle there. Godsend putting some shots down the way. They are at the absolute edge of the circle. Walls Castle was eliminated. So te mató, dude. He is dead. Yeah, so that's going to be it for them. Not the best start that they were looking for, obviously. Still 15 teams remaining, though. Might see a nice little battle here between Godsend. We'll see if they're going to be able to hold it down. They are kind of split up. Nice nade. Trying to be able to catch somebody picking. What you got? Salt here. I'm trying to see exactly what is going through his head. They're doing a 2-2 split. I think they're just looking to get an initial knock.
Yeah, both of them are tossing nades at each other at this point. Haven't quite caught it out. Even the Rising Stars are shooting at people rotating on their northern side. I mean, while this is happening, they're letting at least 2 teams that we've seen kind of get in front of them. Looks like one of them kind of stopping right beside them in Severny. It's Null. Okay, might actually provide some pressure onto this fight as well, especially if a knock finally happens. There you go, a double nade being tossed at this point. They don't want to peek at all. I mean, right when somebody peeks, you know that a knock is going to happen.
Absolutely, and not to mention, Noel on the back end, it looks like they were kind of holding and waiting for a possible third party, but they're looking at the clock and say, you know what, you guys have fun in Severny. I'm going to go ahead and rotate on over here. So Godsend and Pakistani Rising Stars just battling it out here at the edge of the circle in Severny. They still have time, though. I think that they're going to probably wait completely until the zone closes, and if it hard shifts away, they'll probably initiate a fight pretty quickly.
Yeah, I don't disagree. Right when the first knock happens, they're going to get the fight. But I bet both of them are trying to see if they can disengage from this as well, especially because it looks like some of Godsend members are kind of backing up. I wonder if they have vehicles back there that can get in and drive away. Probably just waiting for the zone to pop before they go on ahead and move. But they have a bit longer to wait before that happens. And, ooh, one of them's trying to actually get closer. That was really close there for a dual hop.
Barely to be able to make it behind that car. And the thing is, this is still only circle 3. So the blue zone isn't going to hurt that bad just yet. So they have even more time. But Pakistani Rising Stars, they are looking to rise to the occasion here. And they are sending it out in. That could be a nice underhand nade from Salt. I'm not going to be able to hit the mark just yet. Blue zone comes in. But I think they're thinking this is like zone 5 or 6 and got to get moving. But they're moving on in quickly. A nice initial knock there from the Rising Stars onto Godsend. And they're looking to get this finished. Nice Molotov, though, in return. That off angle from Jag. Definitely disrupting some things a little bit. Oh, that could have been a really nice headshot. He only wants that back. Trade's coming on up. Shots going on down the range here. Jag shooting through the smoke, trying to catch somebody, but this is just a trade back and forth here.
Ooh. At this point, the blue zone's right beside them. They know that they only have a little bit longer, 20 seconds before that blue zone's going to be upon them, and that's really going to hurt them in terms of meds and HP. As you can see, Sociopath down, probably not going to get res. It's a 2v3 now. The push is happening. Oh, Jag going to go on ahead and jump inside the building as well. Oh, there we go with that runaround. Has to be careful, though, because the rest of his team is further behind. Start trying to catch them through that smoke. Can't quite catch them, though. Trade lane prone, but they are able to do some damage to them. Mafia taken down super low as well. And here comes that blue zone we were talking about. Just down to 1 left. If we're going to knock it to 1, but 2v1 still happening. That gun switch. Oh, did not come through. And he's not there to trade. It's
a
1v1.
beautiful gun switch. That was so disgusting. But he's going to try to get that first aid off. And I don't think he has anything.
Is he dead?
He doesn't. He didn't. He was just crouching up and down. Oh, I'm surprised if he just didn't just push it. But I guess, hey, it happens. What an interesting finish there.
Oh, man.
I don't know. Nemesis now just trying to pick up his teammates' meds and go into a little bit of a heal off here. This is still only Circle 4 here, Span. These water zones. Oh, rough.
Yeah. Yeah, it hurts a lot. So back down to the southern side. I mean, everybody's still just stacking on up. We got to see a shooting range fight last time. Looks like we're going to have not as quite much of a shooting range this time, but quite close by. And our current last top of the leaderboard, Vamp, looks like they're starting to get down. And this looks like actually just complete chaos. There's so many teams here. Butcher actually goes down to a run over.
Nice run over there, gonna do it, and that is gonna be the end of Better Than You. A squad we saw really perform well in day number 1. They pick it out really early here. Godplay coming out big. Got quite a few teams still remaining, still 12 squads, all just holding this edge. Big battle here. Straight out of Paul, trying to get some initial knocks with those nades. They're pretty good at throwing this utility.
And as you can see here, they're a little bit further inside the zone compared to the enemies that they're currently fighting, but they're actually hard pushing towards Vamp. I don't know if they really realize or they don't want to make a push towards Godplay. So Godplay, they were trying to sneak on over, but they're going to go ahead and back up. Yep, as they start focusing on to Vamp right beside them. Looks like they're able to get a knock on 1, but Susan Dye goes down instead. So Vamp going on ahead and returning fire. I already said they're current first place in this lobby, 8th overall with 65 points. So able to keep all 4 up so far. They're still on the very edge of the zone and still a little bit of a bad situation to be in, especially as more teams are actually rotating around this edge zone to hold them out. Wow,
able to get their first kill here. Oh boy. This shit.
Everybody's to the north or the east.
Go south. Why not? Okay, it goes north. All right. Yeah, I was like, all right.
That's nicer for them.
So, hey, I mean, hey, they all seem to have had the right idea. The zone does shift a little bit further to the north for them, so it is going to work out for now as few squads like the Terror are going to have to move on down, but we just see Vamp doing a great job at holding the spot. They're going to have to start creeping in here soon, though. 27 seconds left on the clock.
Yeah, but you can see everybody now healing on up. They have to because this zone doesn't contain anybody at this point. So everybody fighting on these edges need to go on ahead and finish off these fights if they're hoping to move. And obviously they can't do that before they take each other out. But a beautiful nade from Vamp will take out straight out of Nepal. So it looks like they are able to take out 1. But the next question is, will Godsent go on ahead and try to challenge them as well? They're a little bit over towards the eastern side. That's definitely the next team that they should keep an eye on. But it looks like they're actually focusing on somebody else right beside them. Uh-oh, Trixie Boy, gotta be careful. Those nades almost took him out right there.
Trixie Boy was so lit, able to get the heal off, and he's just holding this buggy right now. Godplay looking for blood. Trixie Boy just trying to survive. They see that point. They're looking like it's a free point down there, but they also need to focus down range in the zone. Can he get this last tap to get that finish, that steal away from AZ? It doesn't look like it, and Null getting punished by this blue zone as it's starting to creep in. Tons of teams starting to get eliminated.
At this point, not surprised. Even on this southern side, there's so many people up to the north and east that they had to go on ahead and take out at least a couple of their neighbors to get inside this next zone. It looks like some of those guys on the east tried rotating to the south, and that is how the Terror is currently here. They're actually the team furthest away from everybody, so they've been kind of chilling at this point, but now they're in a perfect spot to actually attempt to hold other people out. So we can see them trying to do that with SM right beside them. In the meantime, Noel will be eliminated as well, and actually, this team, Self-Made, they're actually pretty spread out. This could be an opportunity for the Terror to go ahead and get a couple more kill points. Starting off with some nades onto Wade there. Definitely a scary place to be.
Yeah. It looks like Self-Made was just down to a 2-man. They're just looking to just go for placement at this point, separating, snaking it to make it. The Terror, like you mentioned, they were the furthest away from this zone. But I ain't gonna lie, it's maybe a little bit easier to rotate in when all the teams are in the north just battling each other. So it looks like they were just able to take advantage of that and just move in little by little here. No kills yet, but a nice crash here. Vamp versus Godplay, and Vamp gonna take them out. So, wow, 6 kills for them. And they are just racking them up as they're trying to get moving little by little in. Yeah, blue zones. He's like, yo, chill, blue zone. There we go.
I mean, that was huge for Vamp. I mean, they knew that they need to get rid of everybody around them if they're hoping to survive in this zone, because it is very much open on the side of this hill. So you can't have multiple teams up to the northern side. So they're taking out a team one by one, it looks like, able to get the res, and another one that's down, and they're not done just yet. There's still a ton more people up to the north to get rid of, but back down to the south, self-made. Still 2 of them are up, but all of the Terror are coming. Quite scary, super low HP, and it looks like that's about it. One down, the other one in the grass, about 25 HP, and they're just a matter of time before they're able to find Tim. Oh, what?
Oh, the SKS coming out there from King A, making it look nice. They're Wall Street Bets. We haven't been really talking about them too much. They've been chilling. They have that north side of that zone locked down. So I wouldn't be surprised if we start to see them total up some kills here. They're going to have to definitely worry about the Terror, though, as they are going to press up into the zone here. Looks like the Terror have their own things up as the Rejects are punishing them in this rotation. Back and forth they go, getting looted up, getting set up for the rest of this match. King A, ooh, got lit up right there.
Wow.
Decides to go ahead and hit that lay down and just get reset.
That was some nice hits on him, but now they know that they're in a situation where they do have the upper hand when holding out the Terror, so that's what they're trying to do. You can see that 3 of them are currently down. The rest is slowly happening, but obviously that blue zone waits for nobody. It's already closing. At least they're on the slower side, so that's a good thing for the Terror, but of course Rejects and the entire other team's going to be holding them out. So much so that the man almost got a knock there. Oh, that was a missed opportunity, but at least they're able to steal some knocks. There we go, into Gil.
Hey, take those points right there. You got to be able to make up for that one. You know, he wants that one back. So the man and the rest of the Reject squad hold a pretty solid position. Yeah, and he's able to get the revenge. All right, so now you made up for it. You made up for it there, got the kill. And they are just going to be holding this playing position for as long as they possibly can. Wall Street Beats have smoked themselves out completely, eliminating their sight lines. Can King A able to get the spot on the last remaining member of the Terror? I'll have to wait and find out.
It's a matter of time, you know. I mean, that smoke will go on ahead and dissipate. Savage not too far away, but it looks like a lot more fights happening elsewhere. Vamp still going ahead and just trying to go and roll everybody else. Godsent will be eliminated, and Vamp solo, he's actually separated from the rest of his team. There's somebody in between them. The last one up for OP. Have to be careful on that rotation on back to his team, and it looks like it's not quite going to happen, as actually Wall Street Bet Stevo gets a knock onto him. So Vamp 3 up after the rest of the 1. Unfortunately, losing their IGL for now, but there we go. Some nice pressure from Runs trying to push off Wall Street Bets. Yeah, through the smoke as well.
with that DP, man, that was disgusting. They already got 9 kills under their belt, so they're feeling themselves. They do need to move up into the circle, and this is a tough one. I think it's just like right out in the open. Yeah, and that's exactly what they're doing, running in the middle, and Stevo is like, oh, free kill right here. They'll take that all day. Is Unknown dealing with Team OP out in the open as well. I don't know if Wall Street Bets is going to have an angle on him. He's having to run away, trying to that nade so close. Yeah, how is he still alive? The tiniest hill. The tiniest hill pays off for Team OP. And Stevo, oh, he sees him now though. 1 HP? How is this man still alive? It's the buggy.
That exploded buggy. Yeah. It's carrying right that slot right there. Another one. No way.
Buggy OP. Buggy OP. Are you kidding me? Debilitator, that was beautiful. And I don't even know if he has any meds. It doesn't look like it at all. So he's just holding it down, a buggy in hand. And just still alive for Team OP. Okay, was able to go to that crate and get a first aid kit. So that is crucial. So still just trying to get some more placement points, possibly maybe even a second place finish. But you're going to have to outlast that last remaining member of the Rejects who had 10 kills already. Oh, running in. Oh, nice turn though. He almost got turned on. Oh, he's setting it.
He has to run out because the blue zone is coming. He is on that fast side of the blue zone, so he has to move, and he's just pushing right towards them. What other option does he have? So he's just going to be aggressive. Uh-oh, gotta be careful. Going to take a tiny bit of damage, and again, here comes the nades. I wonder if the solo from Rejects is going to start getting involved as he hears all this commotion.
Oh, that nade was almost on point. Not close enough, though. You have Storm, starts disrupting them. Then we may see Debilter have a chance. But for the most part, both these players are just snaking it to make it. And, oh, Storm! He sees it perfectly. I don't think Wall Street Bets has any clue. Oh, my goodness. The smoke. Okay, now they have. Now they know. For sure, that smoke given away. But, but he kills him! Oh, but they did get the turn. So King A able to shut that down really quick from the Rejects. So now, last two teams remaining. Wall Street Bets, they have this one in the bag, and they take it home right there. So a great finish. I got to give it to Team OP, though. That was a really solid solo play to confirm second place for their squad.
I mean, that completely ruined what Vamp was trying to do in their shift. They were trying to send 2 up right underneath the ridge to sit right underneath Wall Street Bets, but because he was there, because Debiliter was at that buggy, he stopped them in their tracks. Couldn't let them go past, and that was a great way to go ahead and grab themselves a second place.
Shut him down. I love to see Debiliter, like the way he decided to go ahead and just... He knew that he had to send it, especially with that zone shift. But that beautiful DP pre-fire, that jump up, just lay down shots, those kind of micro plays just show huge confidence. And it's those kind of plays that make a name for yourself right there. That's the kind of stuff you put on Twitter. So it's beautiful to see here, especially at PMCO.
Yeah, I don't disagree, but also Wall Street Bets being able to keep all of their members up for that long as well. Nothing to scoff at all. Kind of curious at how many kills they were able to pick up. We will take a look at those match rankings right about now, actually, to answer my question. There we go, at the top with the 15 placement points from the Chicken, 8 kill points for a total of 23 in the Rejects. They absolutely popped off as well. They're able to stay alive into that third place, but also got 10 kills, Jukes, for a total of 20.
Nuts. And I believe one of their members from the Rejects had like 7 of those kills. So he was popping off. I gotta go look back at the film and check the name again. But man, dude, Rejects showing up big in the kill section right there. And even with a third place finish, able to get 20 points in total. Team OP, that beautiful last remaining play was able to secure that second place and get 2 extra points for their squad. So great play overall. Vamp always showing up as well. It's just a really solid first game to start things off.
Yep, and these are the games that these guys are obviously waiting for. A bunch of these teams we already actually pointed out at being at the top of the leaderboard for these groups today already. So that means, taking a look at that second page, it's really these teams that need to go on ahead and have the next good game. They have to go ahead and get those points to get higher up on that leaderboard. Everybody at the top that we just took a look at on the other side of the leaderboard, they got to stop them in their tracks, pick up their own. So all these guys right here need to go on ahead and turn that around.
Big time right here. Not the way you want to start things off. And that first game is just so critical to how you set the pace. But at the same time, I always love to see teams that have a tough start and are able to come back and be strong. And I think that is something that they need to get kind of trained for, that mental factor, especially coming up in later stages. If you're in a bigger tournament and you have a bad start and you don't have an ability to come back, it's over. Like, you're done. So that's, I think, a great thing that I always kind of keep a look at, especially here in PMCO. What do you think?
Yeah, I don't disagree. I mean, you have to go on ahead and be able to reset yourself. You have to go on ahead and be able to figure out your mistakes, turn it around, to do better, at least to learn from everything that you do in every single game. Even if you don't do well, at least hopefully you're learning some things that you know what to fix next time. That's the importance here, right?
I'll say one thing. Out of all the things inside of competitive PUBG Mobile or PUBG or whatever game, easier said than done. Easier said than done for sure. It's so hard for so many of these squads. But we'll see which teams are going to be able to do it here as we got 3 more matches left to go. So don't go anywhere, everybody. We'll be right back after this short break.
The OnePlus 9 Pro.
The OnePlus 9 Pro. Oh my god, this phone feels incredible. The best processor, 120 hertz, 12 gigs of RAM, and a Hasselblad camera. What more could you want?
The hyper touch on this bad boy is phenomenal.
The best model of OnePlus phone I have used to date.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the PMCO NA Day 4 Groups B versus D. We already got through our first match on Erangel, and now we're about to be moving into Sanhok. I'm Span Cargo, and with me is Mustache Dave. You guys will be able to take a look with Jukes a little bit later with Dave once again. But Dave, how are you feeling after that first game coming into these matches with these new groups?
I am excited. Game 1 was it was crazy. Wall Street bets, 4 live late game. That's huge because I was talking to, I guess, their coach or their manager, professor. I said, what's the game plan here today? Wall Street bets, what are we looking at doing here? And they said straight up, just be consistent. And for me, that's easier said than done, of course. But if they can come into game 1, get that chicken dinner, I think it's easy sailing here today. Throughout the next 3 maps. Now, one team I am looking at, though, they are playing. The YouTube chat's going crazy. Team OP. What happened? Team OP, where you at? I'm looking for you. What happened that game?
Honestly, I'm not quite sure where the rest of them went, but there was a solo there. I'm just going to assume the rest of them just got taken out from the chaos that was happening to the northern side. I mean, you saw it right at that one point. I forget what shift it was. We took a look at the map, and seriously, every single team was stuck along the edge to the north or the east. That was insane. Like, I don't even know how Vamp or the solo there from OP was able to survive. So, insane game 1. There was a ton of edge fighting. I'm going to expect the same coming into Sanhok. Bunch of team fights about to happen once again.
Yeah, and sometimes people, especially newer players, they might ask me, like, hey, Dave, what do you think? What's the best strategy? And usually I don't really give an answer, but lately I've been just given the most basic answer. And the one that I really feel like is the best strategy right now with these circles, it's try to get a drop spot as center as possible on the entirety of the map, right? Like, just drop as center as possible on the map, because at least with that, you can eliminate some of that RNG with at least circle number 1. And even if most of the time circle 2 might pop a little off center, you don't have to travel that far, because I've been noticing here, especially in the PMCO level, that a lot of teams have big difficulties on how they handle their rotations when they're not in the circle, and they lose players left and right. And I think that has been one of the major challenges here for a couple teams.
You're right. We have been seeing that. We've been seeing some teams be caught out in the blue zone as well as it's on top of them. I mean, that's not a terrible thing, but obviously it is something that's going to go on ahead and tank your health, tank your meds. Not a good situation to be in whatsoever. And I used to kind of say it's like, okay, at this point, everybody should be moving. But obviously, I mean, at this point, kind of expecting that movement to happen more. Now, we already talked about Jukes and I. At this point, these guys should definitely be comfortable with what is happening inside of every single map with the players that they're playing against. So there really are no more excuses for like, oh, let's go ahead, drop safe, let's rotate safe. Like, they should have some sort of knowledge or expectation where these other teams are going that should kind of fast line their own rotations or movement.
So I want to get your take here. I dropped my one tip, all right, of knowledge here for players, and that's drop center on the map, on every single map. Try to get that as your drop spot. I know Hot Juke, he's watching. His number 1 tip is don't die. So don't die, drop center. If you had to add a third kind of tips and tricks, what would that be? What would the Span Cargo tips and tricks be here to kind of wrap it all together?
Oh no! Now you see, I'm trying to think of like a Mimi one, like the.
No, it could be whatever. that's the truth, though. Don't die. You cannot die, or else you lose the game. Like, that's a fact. And drop center, I think, will make it easier for you not to die. So what's yours?
I think the biggest one, I feel like I was a broken record, especially towards. I love saying this. I think this is the one I say the most, is preserve life. So, usually you see the situation where a teammate gets knocked and everybody else is just like, a teammate got knocked, scatter, run. We don't know where it came from, just run away. And they just drive off, leaving their down teammate. And there was 100% opportunity to go ahead and get that res and save the teammate. Like, you need to try to keep all 4 up for as long as possible, because even seriously just down to basic trades, it's so much better if you're able to keep as many people up. So preserve life. You have to go on ahead and make those conscious decisions. If you think that you can go on ahead and save that teammate, you should do it.
And
Without the cost of your own life. Let me add that.
I think we saw that kind of yesterday in effect with some squad mates. They were tossing bandages and medkits at each other from behind cover. And I think, I was going crazy because I haven't seen that before in competitive, but I think that's kind of along the lines of trying to preserve that life of your squad mates if they get knocked out. Don't just say, see you later. That's on you. No, you want to try to get them up if you can, that is. So I love it. That's a great tip. That's a good one. So just looking ahead here, Vamp, where are they at? Vamp, where you at? They told me, Dave, the whole squad, top 5 kill leaders at the end of today. That's what they said. I believed it because, remember, their first day playing, they finished first place. And this is a team that just popped out of nowhere, in my opinion. So 3 more games to go. Sanhok, if you can recall, solo from Vamp, clutched it out with the heel strap. Was able to go from 12th place to 2nd place. 12 points right there. So let's see. Sanhok, is that going to be the map that kind of kicks Vamp in the butt and gets them started here tonight?
Maybe they were doing well that first game, but then Team OP completely ruined that for them. So maybe they're going to come back with a little bit of a vengeance. We'll have to see. And it seems like we're getting a little bit ready to actually be jumping into the jungle. And that's what I'm going to be keeping an eye on. Will they be able to go on ahead and kind of bring themselves back after the last time we saw them on Sanhok, where they did kind of just have to heal their way into that 2nd place? I think this time maybe get to see a little bit more domination.
Bring it back. You know what they're going to be looking for here on Sanhok to help them, that crate. But I see you got the crate. So, you got to share that crate back there. And talk about Sharon. Sharon is Karen. Well, we're talking about the flagship performance and that immersive 120 hertz display, new technology, HyperTouch, built into the OnePlus 9 and 9 Pro. That is going to be their best shot of climbing up those leaderboards and their best shot of being able to acquire these crates here on Sanhok, baby. So Sanhok players loaded on up. We're about to jump into the game. Any final thoughts here, Span Cargo, before we get in?
Final thoughts is, give it your all. I'm excited to see all these fights happen. We got to see a little bit of those close range fights this time. We got to see that Vamp came up on top, taking out some other teams that are kind of expecting a little bit different from. So come on, y'all. Show it back.
All
Win
right,
those fights.
let's go. Let's go. You heard it here first. Sanhok, let's get into the match.
Okay, taking a look at this, it looks like our plane is more up towards that southern side, going up towards the north, so a little bit further towards that western side. Once again, not terrible by any means. Sanhok 4x4 can go on ahead and extend as far as possible. Might give us an idea of where that first zone might go potentially, but taking a look at this so far, nothing else to really say. Seems like a normal Sanhok plane path.
I'm trying to see who's dropping boot camp, baby. And that's going to be the Mustache Dave tip of the day. Drop center. So if they're listening to that, boot camp pretty center here on this Sanhok map. I do see Vant flying over it. I believe Noel just going towards Paradise, actually, that Wall Street Bets is going to be occupying. And it does look like at least 2 teams might be dropping on boot camp. Yeah, 2 teams. So we might have an early fight there for that centralized position. Meanwhile, Circle 1, okay, we see you. We see you. Not too bad. Now, a couple teams in the south, they will have to kind of take into consideration the time that they have to loot. But before we check in with them, well, let's see what's happening over here in boot camp.
Yeah, looks like the Chosen decided to take more of this southwestern side of Boot Camp 4 right now, while the rest of the teams, Walls Castle, dropped center building. So there is, in fact, 2 teams here. They're listening to your advice, Dave, from the future. And I am curious, though. The last time we keep seeing boot camp people fight it out, they do get in an all-out fight. So I don't know if there's really an opportunity for any sort of disengagement. So I have a feeling we're either going to see one or the other come out on top in this situation. And luckily, the zone's on them, so they have a lot of time to do so.
I think it has to be Walls Castle, though. Last game, 0 points. The Goose Egg. And, bad boy clutch already getting caught out there in the open. Not what you want to see for a team desperately trying to climb up these leaderboards. And that knock is going to initiate Mango to make this push. Mango, grenade in hand, looking to toss this grenade through the window, maybe get a double knock here.
Looks like they're playing it a little bit safe, waiting for any sort of a peak to happen, but Mango going to be jumping up on top of that box. He's trying to spot somebody out. Maybe he wants a little bit more confirmation of where somebody is exactly before he uses that precious nade. You know, not too much util on his side, so he wants to use it wisely. But there goes Bad Boy Clutch, going to be fleshed out with that Vector. AZ now making a push closer as well, trying to meet up with the teammates. I think that's smart. Don't want to go on ahead and make too much of a push without waiting for the teammate to be there. And oh no, Sadigo kind of going on ahead, revealing his position. AZ prepping that nade.
Ooh, the third party from up there on the hills. AZ was looking over there, kind of skeptical, like, okay, is there a team over there? They might have recognized them on the drop with the parachutes, and they were right. They need to be cautious of what angles they expose, and we do see the molly coming on out. Looks like the revive was successful onto AZ, but that is definitely going to, at least for the time being, put a halt to the push over here from the Chosen and make them reconsider what the game plan is.
Yeah, straight out of Nepal, making it a little bit difficult. Looks like they're just deciding to rotate more towards the northern side, you know, put some buildings between them so they can't go on ahead and start sniping them from afar again. I mean, luckily they didn't lose one. They were able to get their res. I mean, there is going to be a quicker bleed next time. He is knocked, but not too bad so far. And yeah, they're not done with it. They want to take this fight. Another one, King Huya now running on over with another nade. Walls Castle still has to be careful on this. You can see they're all just patiently waiting for the push to happen. They know it's inevitable.
Yeah, we see right now the Chosen, like you mentioned, use that northern side of the compound to avoid those sight lines, as they are going to be making the breach onto the first story. A Mango, grenade in hand, getting ready to ricochet that bad boy up those stairs. But look at the third party still coming into effect over there. So straight out in Nepal, you got to watch your angles because they're on the high ground trying to capitalize on the position. Mango looking for the breach, up in hand, go for that spray down. Mango is on fire. Drop shot, Mango got another one.
Wow.
My man. Teammate got knocked out right behind him, but Mango, talk about clocking in here tonight for PMCO, looking to do some work. That right there, the Chosen squad wipe.
That just goes to show we were talking about the hot drops that are happening. Gonna go on ahead and show their domination. This is their spot. The Chosen gonna go on ahead and show Walls Castle, do not come back here. Do not. They probably knew that the contestation was gonna happen. I mean, straight out of Nepal made that a little bit more difficult, but they got the kills that they wanted. Now they're just running away. It looks like they're done. Don't want to go on ahead and push onto the other team inside of the boot camp for now, and so we're going to start jumping around, see what else is happening further inside this zone. God play, they didn't have too great of a game that last game. I mean, they were on the northern side. It was a difficult place to come out of, but Vamp ended up just being able to toss one nade, taking 3 of them out. So this game, I'm assuming that they're hoping for a little bit of a different situation to happen.
Yeah, it looks like they're going to be playing a little passive here, at least in this game. They got a okay spot. Looks like Straight Out Nepal might be heading towards Godplay, actually. So hopefully Godplay have a solid defense ready to deploy here. Straight Out Nepal, though, I really like their position on the high ground on those hills to the south. I'm real curious why they did not decide to kind of camp boot camp, you know, devote that time. They know for a fact there are some enemies over there. But it looks like they might be looking for some hard cover running right towards Godplay. So we'll have to see what happens. But over here, featuring, or at least one of their squad mates, just trying to remain undetected, but better than you have a good idea. They're throwing grenades in this direction.
At least they're not able to push it. The rest of featuring should be able to protect their one teammate. Like, if better than you could any closer, you could see the bullets hitting the ground right in front of Joel there. So they can't go any further. So that should protect AZ for a second. Excuse me. No, one of his other teammates closer to him. But it might not be enough if they toss more nades. So got to keep an eye on that. Yeah, Nens not looking too great of a spot to be.
Oh, is this? Oh, the Butcher. I was talking to the Butcher last night. I was like, yo, you gotta wear the Butcher skin. And he said, bet. He's got that Butcher skin on right now. So I love it. I think that's gonna bring him some good luck here, hopefully, as their squad mate. Oh, no, already getting tagged right there. The Butcher, come on, man. We got to see what you got. You got the skin, you got the name. Now you need to represent out here.
Better than you. I mean, they started off this whole PMCO like huge. Won the first game, if I'm not mistaken. Were doing really well. I mean, coming into this, we can see that right now they still have to go on ahead and continue to grab some points, if I'm not mistaken. They are in that 13th place overall. I mean, probably moved up a tiny bit from then, but obviously that is not in the safe zone. These guys want to be in the top 8, so better than you have to be a tiny bit better as they're trying to take this fight against Featuring. Could be the way to do that, but oh my goodness, Godsend actually being held up by Sunset Nepal right now. Looks like they got knocks on both sides. This is a 1v2 potentially now, as another one gets caught out. It's the Chosen now third-partying them.
Fluffy right there, but those look like one squad mate from Godsend also tagged, so that should buy both squads some time depending on their utility with those smokes. And I know for a fact, at least when we're looking at Godsend, Nemesis looking to become their final form here today, or at least that's what I was promised. So this is going to be a true test, as Salt was confirmed. So now Godsend down to just 3, and it looks like they're going to be pulling off right here.
Yeah, they don't want to get involved with that anymore, especially from the third party that was getting shot at them from afar. They want to try and get as far away from the Chosen and Nepal as soon as possible. And it looks like our next zone is very close to popping once again. And there are currently 3 teams not inside this zone. Rejects, they're the furthest away, slowly making their way on in. Same with the Terror, they ended up going around Dock, so they're almost inside. And Vamp, current top team, taking their time getting in on that Bravo side, but where is this going to go is the question, and it's basically centering up on that mainland once again. A little bit of the islands on the western side still in it though, so I mean, Rising Stars, they could continue to play on that island for as long as possible and probably not be bothered by anybody else whatsoever.
Yeah, and honestly, I would love for to shift over in that direction and kind of favor that water. We've seen in the past, and I'm going to call it Acer Island. That little tiny dot was actually like the end zone in one game before, and Acer got a sick grenade play to get the chicken dinner. But that would be huge for Rising Stars because they're the only team over there on that west side. And if it does continue shift in their favor, well, this could be the game that they're looking for to get those placement points. But look at over here. YouTube chat. Where you at? Team OP Baba up there on the roofs trying to take some shots with the M4. Just going for some sprays out here, trying to hit some, hit some helmets onto better than you, hit some vests, take out some utility. I did see one of those helmets were pretty damaged, so that might have been a success. But Team OP, also pretty solid position right now when we're looking at the zone as a whole. They have the opportunity to gatekeep those 2 squads up there to the north that we were just watching a couple of moments ago.
Oh my gosh, those are some sick shots coming from Bubba as well, taking down Joel over there from Better Than You. It looks like they have to start watching their back as well. They're trying to play on that bull for a while, as we saw trying to take a fight with the team to the north, but now they got to watch out because Team OP is now behind them. Can't go ahead and continue to do that for much longer, especially with the zone shift. Got to start thinking of how they're going to make a move on in and going around OP somehow.
Yeah, and we'll see. We shall see. Other teams kind of trying to figure out what the game plan is. I see Vamp all the way out there in the blue. Camp Bravo kind of intertwined with Null. Looks like 6 elites over here looking to maybe sneak up right behind Straight Out in Nepal, but it looks like Straight Out in Nepal are going to be looking through all their windows, their angles, 360 right here. But the sightlines actually from 6 elite, I don't see some good sightlines on the side of Straight Out in Nepal, so they're going to need to be careful. Like, those windows aren't really facing this direction. And we can see on the mini-map, like, they're all looking north right now for the most part.
Oh, one of them slowly turn around. But yeah, nobody's in those southern compounds right now. They do have somebody out somewhere on top of a hill. That's probably the one watching their other side, listening for a little bit of audio, see if anybody's going to be running up on top of them. We're jumping over to Vamp as well. They're far on this eastern side, and it looks like they're actually taking a lot of blue damage. Kind of taking a look at it, I kind of figured that this is going to happen, but here we go. Fecal flying on in, smacking a rock. Maybe they'll be able to get into zone. Oh no, it sounds like they're good now. I think for a second, yeah.
Okay. I thought I saw him get stuck between the boulder and the tree for a second there, and I would have been like, "Whoa!"
You heard the car like smacking into it, yeah.
Yeah, they did unjam it. That's not what you want to do in the blue zone right there. You do not want to crash into giant boulders because that's just going to be taking time away from you getting into the zone and not getting damaged.
That's our fourth tip. Don't run into boulders.
Don't run into boulders. There you go.
Dave, it's the zone you wanted.
Dude, yeah, rising stars. This is great for them. You know, what can they do? What can they do from here? Nobody's near them for the time being. They have a lot of, in my opinion, like potential and opportunity right now to really set up a strong defense on that West Island.
Yeah, and they have the hard cover of that compound down there on the southern side for right now. They're probably trying to stay down there because if the zone does go shift back to the eastern side, they could take the bridges across towards that boot camp area. So that's probably why they're down there for now, but somebody else could go on ahead and take the northern side of them. I'm kind of curious to see who it could potentially be. I don't think OP would do that, but we'll have to see. And it looks like in the meantime, Godplay will be taken out while everybody else, once again, just trying to book it to get inside this next zone because this is a hard shift. Everybody needs to be moving immediately. Otherwise, that blue zone is going to be moving quite quickly. And it looks like Vamp just cannot get out of this situation. They can't get out of blue zone, and now the Terror is holding them out.
Yeah, and the Terror, at least the last time we saw them play, very aggressive squad. And you can already see that 3 kills underneath their belt so far. And they're in the more dominant position when it comes to gatekeeping. Vamp out there. Yeah, Vamp, they might have that vehicle. That might be what they're looking to use here to wide rotate. But the thing is, where Vamp is, they can't really wide rotate to the south because there's quarry down there. And that area is just, it is sketch. I'm not going to lie. It's a sketch area to move through. So we'll see what Vamp does decide to do. Still in the blue, but they're comfortable. We've seen Vamp get second place before on Sanhok playing from the blue.
True. Very true. So it looks like maybe they're going for that strat once again. It also looks like they lost that vehicle one way or the other. Maybe those boulders went on ahead and had a hand in it. We don't quite know, but now they're just running, booking it, dropping some meds. Looks like the person we just spectated couldn't quite catch the name before he switched away, has 0 meds if I wasn't mistaken. So kind of in a harsh situation coming through here. And it looks like their 1 kill at least will be able to get picked up, but also a fight between Rejects and SM starting to pop off, and it looks like we might see another one shortly up there towards the north, but first, all the way down to the south by Runes. Let's see what's happening here, tossing over some nades. Who's going to win this one, Rejects or Self-Made? Self-Made in the position of power to try and hold them out, but it's a 3v2 as well.
Pretty much Psyche trying to toss some grenades at Shark. Shark trying to do the same thing, but Shark's grenade will land. That's some money right there on the edge. This is going to be towards the south. And the thing is with the Rejects, this is only a duo right here because the other 2, Storm and the Man, are still in the blue on foot. So I don't believe they'll be able to provide that support anytime soon, which is going to be a challenge. And to make matters worse, the blue zone now going to be applying some additional pressure.
Yeah, Self-Made, they're just deciding they don't want to push. They're going back into the zone. They don't want to take the damage, which is honestly pretty smart. They're going to leave a Kali out inside the blue. They're going to continue to wait. They might be able to get the res onto the down teammate, though. But now that it is phase 4, this does, in fact, hurt. We can see that they do have meds, but obviously you still want to try and conserve those for as long as possible because you're going to have to use them later. And unfortunately, it looks like Van finally touched not blue zone, and the Terror is going to be there and take them out.
Yeah, they touched a bullet, so not what they want to touch. And the east side in general is just stacked. I feel bad for the Chosen because they won boot camp, but then they moved out of boot camp, and pretty much Godsend leapfrogged around them and now is inside boot camp, which is pretty much the only main compound right now in this zone because that water will be right in the middle, kind of dividing it. So the majority of the lobby is going to be on this east side, as we are going to be looking at 312 with that McLaren just going for that YOLO send. I wouldn't be surprised if they just send it in the water towards those cliffs and try to center up and just play safe.
Start swimming, yeah. Oh my goodness. Well, it looks like some other teams are trying to do the same thing, actually. Team OP is starting to jump in the water. You see Baba already swimming underneath those cliffs, and do they not realize that 2 members of featuring are right beside them? I don't think so. Oh my goodness, AC, they could take out Kashuf here if they really wanted to, if they decided to peek, but here comes the blue zone. Maybe they're not going to do it if they continue to stay up on top. Oh, this is burst opportunity. Here he goes. What?
Oh, wow. I think I would have taken some shots right there. I think I would have taken some shots right there, but it didn't come out. But popping on over here to boot camp. Well, this is where all the mayhem's going to be.
Nice nades. Gonna go on ahead and do a tiny bit of damage to Kawaii. Not quite gonna be able to hit their mark though. The Chosen trying to be really aggressive. Already have 6 kills and they want more. Noldo, I called them out as a team that we need to keep an eye on. They need to get points. And unfortunately though, it's just down to 2 of them left. And as you can see from the north of them, it looks like it's not quite gonna get better. OP might show an appearance, and same with the 2 last members of featuring. But the Chosen already starting to make the push. Kawaii, oh, had a great spot up on top, but man, go Justin was better, able to spot him out. That's a nice find, and that means only 1 is left. Let's see what he's just gonna be able to do here, but the nade is literally gonna bounce off his helmet, and that is it. Null's eliminated.
Wow, yeah, Kawaii, nice spot up there, but kind of predictable. You know, we saw the man, that was the first angle they decided to peek right there, and unlucky. So the Chosen will be up there towards the north because the next zone did pop, and that was a huge fight for them to win because they have some cover. Meanwhile, everybody else that decided to send it into the water, I'm talking Vamp, I'm talking Team OP, well, now they need to make their way up these cliffs into boot camp because we are heading to boot camp for the final zone here. We got 12 teams to go.
This is what I was worried about for Rising Star, and now Better Than You, it looks like. These guys no longer on that mainland. They're at the island. They're going to have to figure out a way to go back, and as you can see here, I mean, Team OP, they're already in the water, so they're going to have to try and get in the water as well. Looks like Vance might have found their way on that side as well. Team OP now up on top. They're going to be in a much better position. Everybody else, I mean, anybody who goes on ahead and just runs these cliffs right here to try and get kills would honestly profit a lot if they were to do that, but a ton of fighting now. Looks like Kasuf really doesn't want the rotation to happen until the rest of his teammate is up with him. And everybody else, actually, I think they're all stuck in boot camp. It's really just OP that could actually get all these kills coming in from the west.
Yeah, and I am cheering for the Butcher out there in the blue, but I don't know how they're going to make it into this next zone line. They have to swim across the channel. They're going to be taking blue zone damage, and they got a member from Team OP looking over there, so it's going to be rough. And the next zone does continue to be in boot camp, shifted a little over there to the west, as we did lose another squad. Leyland, shots right here, relaying that information to their squad mate. Chosen 9 kills so far. Remember, the Chosen dropped boot camp. They push out of boot camp in between Paradise and then move right back into boot camp. So they're trying to claim this right back.
It looks like OP are slowly being picked apart as well from these teams right inside zone. Vamp also will be taken out by that blue zone. They weren't in a good spot either. The Chosen now, they're 100% aware where Team OP is. Looks like they will get a res into the ones. They're still pretty strong, but now making a push back into boot camp. They're going to be fighting another team, and they're going to be able to get a kill onto Fluffy. Oh, gotta go on ahead and continue to... They're unfortunately a little bit too spread apart is my guess.
I love that. If that was me, if I was AZ, I would have opened the door and just ran right in. But that's not what they did. They opened the door, they baited it, and did not go through. And they let that enemy, Fluffy, kind of miss a couple shots, half the mag, and then popped in with that UMP. That was nice. That was a heads-up play for sure. So we'll see what they can do. They are going to be right there on the edge, but it does look like the Terror are going to be running right towards them. They were able to get the pickup. Did Landland get picked up right there? I don't think so. Still bleeding on out. The smoke going to be using the soft cover to possibly get them in time, but the Terror, they already got the grenades locked and loaded. And
it looks
Gil
like
got
OP.
him.
Nice. OP is getting really close as well over there on the western side. Also in the distance, we can see the Godsend able to go on ahead and take out 6 elites, taking them out in 6th place. So 5 teams are now left, and oh man, the Terror keeps spotting people out, but just popping out some nades, just missing those small opportunities to take some shots. And can't quite toss those nades because the doors are now closed. So they're going to have to continue to hold on to those. The Chosen just inside of zone on this northern side. They have to watch out for both OP and the Terror now. Because both of them, I mean, they need to make a move in. And right now, the center of the zone is a big canyon.
And look who's there.
Oh, Papa.
Godsend setting up over here on the edge towards the west. They're going to have a nice little angle to pretty much keep Team OP out of reaching the boot camp. Yeah, look at Jack. Like, Team OP, they need to move to those barriers, and that's what they're doing. They did take out Jack, so that is huge on the side of Team OP.
Nice.
That will allow them to actually breach into the boot camp and get some type of cover. Oh, yeah, you're not going to be able to pick them up. Blue zone's coming.
Ooh, the Chosen. The Chosen decided to push at the same time. They took out one of OP, so now it's just 2 left. Only one of them is actually up. They need to get the rest on the second, but now the Chosen is also getting pressured as well. So there's just 3 teams fighting on this northern side. The Terror now trying to push towards Chosen. It's just complete chaos. OP losing one because of that, and then straight out of Nepal being able to get that knock into AZ, still huge for them. And the rest of them just going to send it straight into that canyon. The Terror might have to just follow, though. This zone nicely placed.
Yeah, the Chosen taken out right there, but they had a ton of kills, so they're going to be walking away happy with their performance this game. Straight on a poll, they have the numbers advantage. They have 3 up. Meanwhile, the other 3 teams with a duo. Nemesis looking to become their final form here today. Well, this is going to be the true test. Moving together with Trey, the duo in tandem. They're right below Team OP and the Terror.
And there's a nice nade that was placed onto the Villager, so it's just Killer left. Gonna toss out some more nades. Unfortunately, not quite gonna be able to catch Godsend. And there we go, into the canyon they go. The Terror now starting to make a big push. It's only 1 left. OP also trying to spot him out as well. A little bit of a reload, and OP will be eliminated first. And right after will also be Godsend. So now it's down to the last 2. It's straight on Nepal and the Terror. They know exactly where they are, and it looks like the Terror is gonna try to hold them out this 2v3. But as you can see, 2 of them are currently knocked. It's just down to 1. This is this one day could finish it.
Go! Trying to get the bounce off. The blue zone is going to start to close in. And Midnight right here, this is the game-winning play. Go on the roof right here because they're going to have to push out. And Midnight has that Uzi lock and loaded, ready to spray. Straight on Paul, they only have 1 exit, and Midnight's going to be blocking that exit with the molly, so the blue zone could take them out. Midnight trying to get those final heals on the top of this one. Gil just go for that spray down with the Tommy gun. Straight out of Nepal. GG's. I do not see you making it out of here alive, but the Midnight going for that clutch play was taken out, but the blue zone taking out the final blow. Straight out of Nepal, 2nd place right there. Wow, you could tell the Terror, they wanted that last kill, that's for sure. They were getting thirsty. The man, oh man. What
ran on in. I mean, I'm glad they ran on in trying to get those last few kills. Otherwise, I think they were just going to let the blue zone take them, and they're all very low HP. So at least they're able to run in and try to get those last few. But yeah, they played that perfectly. Somehow there was just... That was such a hard situation that they're trying to get out of on the northern side. I thought straight out Nepal was really just going to be able to 100% just defend the main building and boot camp, but unfortunately that just didn't happen. The knocks happening perfectly. That just didn't work out for them in the end.
Straight up Paul, definitely though, I feel like their game plan was positioning that game. They're always following the zone, playing those edges, and trying their best to keep everybody alive. And we can kind of see that reflected on the overall leaderboard. Their kills points, their kill points to placement points. They are a team that likes to get placement points over kill points. Play it a little safer. And honestly, it's been working out. They got 12 points that game, only 2 kills. But remember, the goal here It's confirmed. It's official. Top 8, baby. Top 8 is the goal. You will be moving into those PMCO finals. And you never know. I would even work to be 9th place, 10th place. You never know. But that was a pretty interesting game. Boot camp, final zone. Okay. I'll sign up for that. Like, I'm ready for that all day long.
I am not upset by that whatsoever. Let's take a look at those match rankings as well to see just how well everybody else ended up doing. It got to see a lot of fights happen off screen. There's just so much action. We couldn't quite catch it all, but we're going to be able to see it here on this chart. The Terror taking away the most amount of points of 15 points from the win, 9 kill points for a total of 24. And Godson grabbing second, 10 placement points, 7 kills with 17. And we have to take a look at the Chosen, though. They went away with 11 kills. They were taken out a little early, so they got 6 placement points, but they're still in that third overall with 17 points as well. Shannon Nepal, second place, getting 14 total.
Yeah, Godsend, really nice setup they had right there to try to keep Team OP from breaching boot camp, right? They had those nice angles on those barriers that Team OP needed to push through. And they were also a team that decided to go into boot camp early. I remember making mention, like, Godsend were there. They took the spot from the Chosen. The Chosen dropped boot camp. The Chosen moved out of boot camp. And then next thing you know, Godsend, they're the squad inside boot camp set up for that final zone. But the Chosen, though, still, regardless of losing their boot camp position, they have to be happy. 11 kills right there. The aggression, they were just running all over the place, getting into as many fights as possible. And that was just beautiful.
They did it well, and that excites me because that's what we were looking for coming on to Sanhok, who's going to be that aggressive team that was able to win a bunch of those fights, and the Chosen was definitely that team. Taking a look at this next page as well. Again, we got to see a lot of people unfortunately be taken out pretty early on, and starting off with the Vamp in 9th place. I mean, that was the team that came in today in the first for the group, but now 9th place, 3 total points, not ideal, and actually 3 entire teams coming away from that game with 0 points. That's rough, and it's going to be Self-Made God playing Walls Castle. That's really difficult to go on ahead and come out of playing an entire match, especially now that 2 games today are over. These guys have now officially completed half of their matches for the entire PMCO.
Yeah, and when we're looking at Rising Stars, we're looking at Vamp, like, it would have been a completely different story if that circle shift would have favored the West and not the East when it went to boot camp. Because remember, we were talking about Vamp, we were saying, oh, they're in the vehicles, they were just YOLO sending it. They actually did send it into the water that was center at the time. So if the zone was to favor that West side, they could have just hung out underneath those cliffs and just soak up those placement points. But instead, we saw the shift go over there to the east. Team OP, they needed to move. They were fortunate enough to actually be on the cliffs, ready to make that move. Meanwhile, Vamp and Rising Stars, they were nowhere to be found when it comes to being proactive. So it is what it is. The zone did not play off in their favor. It happens. It happens sometimes. What are you going to do? We still got 2 more games to go here, Span Cargo. So any final thoughts before we send it to break?
Well, we have a Miramar and an Erangel left. I already said it, they're halfway done. So if they're not too happy with their placement now, they just have to step it up immediately from here on out because they only have half the games left. So come on, y'all. Let's go ahead and do it.
All right. Let's go. We will be right back with Miramar. Don't go anywhere.
The OnePlus 9 Pro.
The OnePlus 9 Pro. Oh my god, this phone feels incredible. The best processor, 120 hertz, 12 gigs of RAM, and a Hasselblad camera. What more could you want?
The hyper touch on this bad boy is phenomenal.
The best model of OnePlus phone I have used to date. The OnePlus 9 Pro.
The OnePlus 9 Pro. Oh my god, this phone feels incredible. The best processor, 120 hertz, 12 gigs of RAM, and a Hasselblad camera. What more could you want?
The hyper touch on this bad boy is phenomenal.
The best model of OnePlus phone I have used to date.
Yo, what's up, everybody? We're back, dude. Hot Juke's back in the seat here with my man, Mustache Dave. Huge shout out to Span Cargo. Did an amazing job today. Man, we're here with the Club Open. Dave, I think we got to start giving the title so far to the Terror as Comeback Kings, bro. What is up with this squad, bro? This first game, always kind of second game and the games after, they come clapping. And that's exactly what they did in Sanhok.
Yeah, an aggressive squad. You know, you love to see it. I was kind of questioning their play at the end, though. The man got a little too thirsty, or it wasn't the man, but Man Go got a little too thirsty. Actually getting taken out, almost giving a kill point over to straight on Nepal. I think PMPO level, you don't want to do that. I think just use your advantage and just wait for them to kind of jump out their rabbit hole. But, you know, PMCO, you do what you want to do type of deal. They already knew they had the chicken in the bag, so you might as well. But I agree with you. The Terror popping off that game, making those quick 1-2 second decisions on which way to push. And they were doing a pretty good job. One point, I thought Godsent also might have had done and dusted, but that wasn't the case, man. That was not the case. And I'm a little sad because I was talking last game to Span Cargo that Nemesis was telling everybody in the chat that tonight's going to be the night that they reach their final form. And that's what Courtney was saying as well. In that game, Nemesis, I don't know, man. Final form, if that's what it is, I don't know if I'm, impressed. Well, 2 more games, though. 2 more games.
2 more games. 2 more games. You know, so maybe they are liking to, go into that final form right at the end, you know, just like a DBZ, you know, just for climactic effect. So we'll see how that works out. Let's go ahead and take a look, though, at the leaderboards, man. Let's see exactly where these squads are standing so far. And it's all about the B-Town, baby. B-Town, first place, still holding it down, obviously. But Team OP, they're catching up, man. They are catching up. Still 2 matches left to go. And then we'll have an even leaderboards after this.
Yeah, B-Town coming into today's game, just looking at the overall kill leaders, I think they have 3 out of the top 5, so they were just dominating. And look at, you can see how much they were dominating. 59 kill points. That alone is probably more points alone than some of these teams on that next page, because we see it stops 8th place, the Terror 71 points. So just imagine being a team and looking at this leaderboard and looking at B-Town and be like, B-Town have more kill points than we have out of our 8 games at this point. It's you gotta pick up the slack somewhere and you gotta change it around. But yeah, the goal here, Hot Jukes, confirmed, by the way, top 8, baby. So if this was the end right now, these would be those teams. But it's not over. It's not over yet. But top 8 is the goal.
It's so crazy to see so many squads here in the top 8 that have only played 6 games compared to 8 as well. So this lobby is definitely stacked with some serious squads. Moving on over to the next page. Let's see where everybody else is standing, as B-Town's still the only team with 3 digits. But we're going to go down the line. You know, Ornata, they played the other day, 71 points. I'm still looking at squads that have only played 6 games. That's what I'm really, really looking at. And you look at straight out of Nepal. You see them right there. 6 games in 14th place with 61 points. So they still got 2 games left. I think we could definitely see them on the first page with just some decent performances.
Yeah, and when we're looking at straight out of Nepal, we're talking straight out of Nepal. They could definitely use another chicken dinner because that would kind of benefit their play style. You could tell by their placement points to kill points ratio that that's a team that they like going for those placement points. And we saw last game, they had 3 up late game. They played it nice and safe as long as possible. I'm just curious, will that strategy work here with this format? And I think if they can get another chicken dinner, well, it'll definitely help prove me. But let's check out that next page here, Hot Jukes.
Take a look at it here. We still have some squads that, I mean, we can see just for fun all the way down here. They're a team that is the only one in this page with a chicken dinner, and they played 8. But the Chosen, they still played 6 matches. They could go and pop off here as well. All it takes is a good chicken dinner, man. A good chicken dinner, like you mentioned, and we could see them fly up the leaderboard. So they got to be able to make some plays, Dave. Some plays.
Yeah, and I think just to kind of add on to the Chosen, last game, if I'm not mistaken, like 11 or 12 kills. So they almost doubled those kill points. So yeah, if the Chosen could pull that out a couple more times here, well, they just might be chosen to move into that PMCO Finals.
That's good. That was a good one, Dave. That's what I'm talking about, dude. The Chosen are chosen, dude. We'll see. We'll see if they are going to be chosen, though. They got to put in that work, baby. Let's look at the last page here. I mean, speaking of teams that need to do work, you're going to see them right here, right? All these squads. They're going to need to put in some serious work if they want to have a chance. Like you mentioned, top 8 will be moving on after this. And all these squads here, they need insane performances going forward. Chicken dinners, without a doubt here, I think, in these next 2 games, if they really want to feel good going into the rest of the matches.
They need the chicken dinner buffet, all right, at this point. And I was kind of rooting for Pakistani Rising Stars last game. They had that West Island all to themselves. We saw a couple of zones favor that side, but then, of course, that hard shift over on top of boot camp just did not help their case at all, sitting there with 20 points. But on the flip end, though, we can see there's a lot of teams on this page who still have, they're playing here today. They still have their 2 more games to play here to match all those other squads with 8. So there's definitely room for them to leap up this leaderboard here tonight still.
Yeah, after today, all the teams are going to be dead even. So will all have played 8 matches, right? So we're going to see exactly where everybody is standing solid after today. But 2 matches left to go. Let's say you're able to get, if you get 2 chicken dinners, that's 30 points and just placement points alone. But if you're able to get, I think, a top 3 finish, that's 10 points with, a good solid 5 kills plus. That'll be around that same amount. So it's interesting to see. That's a huge jump in the leaderboards. But you got to be able to do it, man. You got to be able to pull out that performance. And Miramar, Erangel, it ain't Sanhok, so there's not that much RNG. So you just got to get it done. Got to get it done.
And it's doable. We've seen it here in this lobby before. We've seen Team OP get back-to-back chicken dinners. And, if I had to guess, they did it with the flagship performance and that immersive 120 hertz display, new technology like HyperTouch built specifically for gamers. You can see it right there. Hot Juice has that bad boy, the OnePlus 9 and 9 Pro. That's your best shot. That's everybody's best shot at climbing up them leaderboards. So, yeah, if you want to get those back-to-back chicken dinners, you know what you need to do.
And that's right there, baby. Right down there. OnePlus 9 Pro. Got to get it, dude. You got to get it. So, man, dude, Dave, 2 more matches, brother. 2 more matches. We're going to Miramar now. I challenged Span Cargo yesterday with the crystal ball. I'm going to do the same thing to you, Dave. You're the originator of that crystal ball was founded and smithed in the Mustache Dave cave of something that rhymes with Dave, okay? And where's the first zone going?
It's going to go northwest. El Pozo, water treatment. Those 2 areas will be in
water treatment.
Got a good feeling. Water treatment up there. El Pozo right there. Nice little circle like that right there. I think that's what it's going to look like. It's going to look nice and round. You know what I'm saying, Jukes? Nice and round. So
okay. Solid bet there. Solid bet there. We're about to get started here shortly, everybody. I can't blame it. I think all the rest of these teams, I would think they'd love a circle like that because we've been seeing a whole bunch of southern finishes in Miramar, and those suck, to be honest.
I couldn't agree more. So talk about finding out what zone number 1 will look like. Well, ladies and gentlemen, Miramar, let's get into the game.
Let's get it, baby. To the desert. And we are here. You can see that. Of course, OnePlus 9 Pro right up front and center. Best of the best, baby. All right. Let's get into the match here. we can see this plane path is going to be right from the north on to the south. It's a pretty one. I think all these teams should be very, very happy with this kind of plane. Unless you really want to drop a Poizo, then they would be, it kind of sucks. But other than that, it's pretty solid. I think.
What do you mean? Circle 1's going there. So
that's
you might as
true.
well drop quick, get a
Dang.
vehicle, and just send it in that direction.
I
Honestly,
forgot.
if they're truly trying to get the chicken here, that's what they need to do. So we'll see.
That's a
Everybody
fact.
jumping on out. Wall Street bets. I think you're the lucky charm for them. Game 1, you were casting. They got that chicken dinner. Last game, Sanhok, I don't even know what happened to him, honestly. So now you're back, Hot Jukes. Let's see what they got going on.
To the moon, baby. To the moon. Let's see what they could do right there. King A, good friend of mine. I've seen this guy grow as a player. I'd love to see him move on to the next stage. I think he definitely has what it takes. He has the most experience, I think, in this lobby here, without a doubt. So we'll see if he's able to kind of, show his team and tell them, hey, you know what, this is what we should do, and hopefully it ends up working out for him. But you can't slip up, because in this PMCO, a lot of squads have been putting in that work, Dave. And Dave,
I was wrong. I can admit when I was wrong. I can admit when I was wrong. It doesn't work all the time. Did I say it's going to be favored, or did I say they're not going to be fair? Because look, if you look, Outpost and Water Treatment are not in circle number 1.
No, sir.
I forget. I got to watch the VOD. You got me confused now.
I mean, it could have been the opposite of what you said. Who knows?
Maybe.
Who knows? It is.
Look at this.
It's Dave. Oh, Pecado.
Look at this, Picado.
Sin City. Man, I think this is I have so many good memories here. I mean, I think everybody that's watching this, if you first started playing Miramar, if you've played Miramar seriously at all, this stadium is like the drop. That's where you always go inside of classic matches. So Rejects, I think that they're just sticking to what they know so well and taking that main spot right there. So Walls Castle, they missed a day.
Yeah.
They missed a game. So they're behind a whole game compared to all these teams. And they're really low on the leaderboards. So I'm not going to lie. Pretty surprised to see them dropping dead center against another squad. Can't lie.
Yeah, they've been missing a lot of points too, right? Back-to-back 16th place finishes. So, and day 1, I was like, listen, Bad Boy Clutch, best name in the lobby, hands down. But we haven't seen much from them. Now they will have that M249, so I'm hoping in that casino area they can set up a nice little defense and, just wait for Rejects to just walk right into that trap. And talk about walking into a trap. Well, one member from featuring There She Blows, the pirate theme. I'm loving this one. Up here on the roof, Tommy gun in hand. It's going to be a 1v4 situation, though, so let's see what happens here, bro.
I tell you what, he may be a pirate, but he is the treasure right now, and they know where he is. They had to have seen him. I mean, they threw a Molotov right. Oh, they know exactly. You had to run into it. Oh, see ya, dude. No chance, bro. Not a chance in heck, dude. Oh, that sucks for Trixie, boy. Yeah, you did. You did. I mean, what else can you say, bro?
I'm trying to come up with some type of, how could they have gotten out of there? There's nothing. It's just they surrounded that compound, all the angles. They had the molly. Yeah, there's just nothing you can do in that situation. So what they could have done is not drop without their squad mates. So I guess there you go. They should have dropped near their squad mates. So lesson learned for sure.
Spotted,
by 4 members. And talk about potentially getting spotted. Walls Castle, a little 3-1 split right here.
Okay.
I believe, no Rejects over there in the boxing ring. And we were talking they need points. So I'm actually kind of surprised to see Bad Boy Clutch might be repositioning. But if I'm Walls Castle, I think I'm going to try to set up this fight, though. Like that's what I would do. Try to set up for this fight.
Yeah, I mean, you should know Picado like the back of your hand. You really should. So if you're able to hold those angles properly and play it smart, it's really about getting that initial knock. That's what's so huge, especially in that city in particular. So got to play it smart, got to make those moves. But, I mean, I ain't going to lie, man. Seeing their kind of rotations and widely running around, it doesn't give me a lot of confidence with their past performance. So I hope they prove me wrong. I hope they go and make a play and just like, yo, Jukes, we're here, son. But I got to see it, dude. I got to see it to believe it.
And we know, we've been watching a lot of competitive PUBG Mobile that early game fights are the best fights to try to take. Like that's the window to take those risks because you have to assume there's not going to be a lot of teams around you to third party this early on. And well, we'll see. We'll have to see what they end up doing because we're going to be checking in with the Terror. This is your squad you're talking about making that big come up last game. We'll be taking some shots over there on the Chosen, just driving by.
Tell you what, when it comes to the Terror, first game, if I was a betting man, I'm not going to say that I'm going to go throw a bunch of money on them. But games after that, I wouldn't mind it because they have shown to be a team that is able to bounce back after a tough game. And that's always a really good sign for me because I've been saying this over and over and over again, but it's so true because the mental factor of just losing at a stage like this, it could be huge and it could really demoralize players and cause issues and tension in between the teams. So if you have a bad game and are able to bounce back, especially to like a chicken dinner, man, that's a great sign for a PMCO team.
And that kind of brought up something that you mentioned last night, final game.
What's up?
You said, and I agree 100%, and we talk about this often as well, that now that we're towards the end, like we're getting towards the end of PMCO group stage, those teams at the bottom who have a long shot, you know where I'm going, like those teams could do whatever they want to do. And
yes, sir.
Those top teams, they might be safe, first, second, third, but those teams on the cusp, I'm talking 6th place, 7th, 8th, and even 9th place. Well, hopefully they don't have enemies down there towards the last page of the leaderboard because you have to assume, and we see it all the time, like you're going to get dropped. You're going to get spoiled. Your rotations are going to be camped and blocked. Like it just happens all the time because those teams, they have nothing to lose. So they risk it towards the end of the tournaments. And sometimes it works out. Sometimes they get the squad wipes. But a lot of times those teams on the cusp, well, they're the ones paying the biggest, deficit because of that. So if you are right now 8th, 6th, 7th, I'm looking for a chicken dinner because I do not want to be in that situation on that final day.
Straight up. Like being in that middle of the pack or being on the cusp of like needing 30 points in order to move on sucks towards the end. And that's why I'm so hard on a lot of these teams and players early on is because of exactly that. I mean, and here's the problem, Dave. It doesn't matter if you like, okay, let's say you thirst, Walls Castle and you BM them and they say, you know what, screw it, we're going to hunt them down, right? Which we have seen, like you talk about. That sucks for that particular team. But it also sucks for the entire lobby because when you have a whole bunch of teams that have nothing to lose towards the end start playing, shenanigans ensue. So if you need to have 20 kills to move on, they may not be available because you got these teams just pushing like crazy and doing all this stupid stuff, and you don't have those kill points to even have a chance. So, like you mentioned, I think you're totally right. Got to get those chicken dinners if you're in that exploit range because you do not want to have to deal with that. It's a big factor that I think a lot of players, teams, and viewers just don't really think about, but we've seen firsthand multiple times.
Yeah, it's definitely, and it takes, it takes a certain skill set, right, to be able to think ahead like 2 game days. Like that's a lot to ask for, but that's what you need to be doing because today is going to be groups B and D. Tomorrow is D's last day. So Group D today, if I'm playing, I'm looking for that chicken dinner just so I can kind of calculate into my formula the shenanigans, the clown fiesta that you tend to see towards the end of events like this. So we'll see what that pressure does do for some of these squads as, circle number 2, okay, we're starting to see some shots ring out. We're starting to see some rotations come on out. Looks like Wall Street Bets going that wide rotate down here towards that west, but Steve-O getting caught right there.
Bad Gursam, doing some great shot. Oh, but the return fire from Devotion. Beautifully done. And he's putting that suppressive fire to really help his teammates be able to buy some time and be able to get that support for Steve-O. Very, very nicely played. So Wall Street Bets able to turn that engagement around pretty well so far, it looks like, and get a nice little reset going. Look at this, Jason.
And actually, I like the play.
Yeah, it was nice.
From Wall Street Bets. Like, they were trying to go to the south and wrap towards the southern end of the zone where you could assume that there's not going to be anybody down there because of the shift. But they got caught off right there, Steve-O. That's going to take away that time that they needed to use those main roads. So I'm curious what they'll end up doing now. We'll have to see because, we're obviously looking over here straight out of Nepal, just taking some shots over there onto, Walls Castle.
Uh-oh. Yeah, Walls Castle, they need big performances. So in my eyes, what I want to see from this team to really have confidence is I need to see some serious kills and a high placement. And right now, we're starting to see them very, very spread out. Bad boy Clutch gonna have to keep true to his name and hit some shots downfield. Not able to do so. And he ends up losing one teammate in the process. The other is knocked. Not looking good for Walls Castle. They're just too spread out.
Up that bus. Is that bus blown up yet? Bad boy Clutch, I think gotta blow that bad boy up. But from behind, trying to get that pinch. Uh-oh. Okay, that's a smoke. So look at that in the bottom corner as well. I believe that's gonna be Team OP and Noel. That's a huge fight. Those are some heavy hitters in the lobby. Noel has a ton of experience, and of course the YouTube Team OP, Baba. I already see 3 squad mates from Team OP on their knees, bleeding on out. So it's really up to that last member alive playing that anchor position from Team OP to save the day, as their squad mates are crawling towards them right here.
Man, I can see those Baba OP in the chat already, and at the same time, though, they're going to need to really pull something out because it looks like Null has the upper hand big time on them. And here they go. We are switching to that fight, and that's going to be it for them. So Null able to get a nice little reset on and take that squad out with still all 4 members up.
Yeah, Null got the double pickup right there, the revive. And we saw that solo member that was still up from Team OP try to get a grenade, but that boulder just blocking that damage. Next zone goes up, so Noel will have to quickly regroup, heal up, and move into the circle. Vamp should be able to possibly scout out and maybe even gatekeep them, but besides that, we got Godsent looking to make some moves. We got Self-Made looking to make some moves, and a couple squads over here towards that east side.
Yeah, starting to see some movement happen. Null are in the north side of Los Leones. They're going to have to get into this circle, and they may be gate kept by Vamp as well as Pakistani Rising Stars. So we'll see how they're going to be able to get this rotation. God sent another major squad on the same direction as well. So I definitely expect a huge war to happen on the east side of the circle, as well as you see other teams, just getting squared away and trying to find their positions here in Zone 3.
And you know what? This is already a good game for Walls Castle because they're still
ain't dead
alive.
yet.
They didn't get taken out. They're not dead yet. Now, if they die now, it's not going to matter because it's still 0 points. So if they can make it to 12th place, well, officially be 1 point here on the leaderboard today. They did lose one, but they have, I'm bringing this up because they have a position in this zone right here that they could potentially defend for a couple zones, especially if it continues to pop over here on that west side.
I agree, but what are you doing, Jason? You know what I'm saying? Like, I guess that's what it is. I mean, the thing is that I just don't really, I got to be honest with you. I just hate their angles. Like, with the positions that they're holding and trying to be able to get it from the angles that they're holding, it just doesn't make sense. So, like, if you're going to cover that backside, you got to really, really have, like, there's no reason to not have your gun out, right, and be ready. So these little micro mistakes and, like, jumping around and trying to punch out a window, it's just a huge waste of time. And if you're looking to really play at a high level, you can't make those mistakes. Oh, what a nade.
Just really coming out here with that knowledge tonight. Hopefully people are taking notes, but that was a nice grenade. Another team that really needs these points. God play. And they're going to be getting at least 2 points on the board. They are here right on the edge. Now, those grenades, those shots, I believe it might have alerted, I think, the terror up there in vehicles. So we'll have to see if they end up clashing here very shortly. And don't count out Wall Street Bets, also kind of in that general area, just a little towards the south.
Yes, sir, indeed. Look at the kill leaders right now. Seong, Kawhi as well. Null. doing a great job. Both rocking 2 kills to themselves. Great performance so far. 4 kills in total for Noel. Looks like they did end up losing somebody on that rotation. So now they're down to a 3-man. Pakistani Rising Stars. They got 1 kill, and they're doing a great job gatekeeping, but now they're going to have to do a great job getting into this next circle. Looks like it hard shifted away from them.
Yeah, and who's that in the middle? 6 elites. Wow. Okay, they got some nice terrain to cover. Woo! And Walls Castle still on the edge right there. So hopefully, Jason has that gun out ready to defend, because Wall Street Bets, they're going to be looking for somewhere to breach here and claim as their own. So they got a couple options. They could go straight out into Paul or towards Walls Castle. So we'll see what they can end up doing down there in the south.
Here's the problem, though, Dave. Walls Castle, I think this is a big game for them to prove what they can do. Because if they just get pushed up and taken out, like, really, really quickly, Dave, their name's going to change. Their name's going to change, Dave. It's going to change from Walls Castle to Free Points. I'm dead serious. You know what I mean? He's on Toxic, but that's what these teams are going to be thinking. The second they get a thirst on one of those members, they're just going to full send them, like, without hesitation. And that's not something that you want, especially when you have a lot of points that you have to make up ground for. So you got to stand your ground, got to be able to make some plays.
Well, this is their game. Like you said, they have a compound right now. They have the opportunity to defend, and I think you called it. I can see, because I got the vision, it looks like Wall Street Bets are pushing into Walls Castle, so we should see here in a couple of moments on the kill feed. Here it is.
Oh, baby. Prove me wrong, Walls Castle. Oh, you're gonna have to really prove me wrong. You got Godplay coming after you as well. So, oh goodness, oh, not to jump through the window, dude. Not to jump through the window for free. King A, bro, making it just look good. Yeah, Walls Castle's in trouble, bro. Big trouble.
All that experience, man. All that experience, King A just knows what window to hit, and they're going to be breaching this compound. Walls Castle only have a duo left, but they are in opposite buildings. If I'm not mistaken, Bad Boy Clutch does have an M249, so if there's a gun to kind of put your back against the wall and just spray that bad boy down and keep everybody out, well, that's going to be it. So what they can do.
No way.
As sad with the Tommy gun, just kind of hard peeking out that window, trying to go out Tony Montana style. Not working out.
Saw Noel get eliminated on there. We missed that fight because we've been watching this one, but man, that's a big team to go out really early. Look, they were starting off strong. And you still got Godplay Wall Street Bets here by this compound. That last member of Walls Castle just, trying to buy himself a little bit more time. I'm going to say 12th place for them.
Well, this is actually fortunate for Bad Boy Clutch that Godplay did opt to push over here. But you have to assume with the experience that Wall Street Bets has, they know that there's still going to be a member from the Walls Castle in the area. They're looking for it, and they're going to find it. Bad Boy Clutch, the M249, just not strong enough to save them here in this situation.
Yeah, I was optimistic, bro. I said 12th, but it was 13.
Still 0 points.
You hate to see it. Hate to see it, man. Especially when you're holding an angle with an M249 in a building. So, yeah, Walls Castle got to be able to put in some work in here. But let's watch this big fight, though. Wall Street Bets coming up against Godplay. King A through the smoke. Nice turnaround. Able to get that pre-fire and kill. So, Wall Street Bets mowing down squads here. Nice instant smoke there to be able to get their teammates back up. You can see little baby Kong there, so giving a good little pat on the back onto King A. I mean, it's looking really good for the squad. They don't have the zone, though, but they did get this fight done just in time to be able to rotate.
6 kills, and they're going to be able to get some loot. And you can see that experience, King A straight from back and forth, and that allowed them to pretty much miss a couple enemy bullets right there. So coming in clutch, but over here, talking about the zone, it does go up there towards the north. The Chosen looking mighty fine, but here's your squad, the Terror. Oh, they're looking right at Godsend here on the edge, and I already see Midnight in that coupe. Oh, they got that vehicle ready. If they get a knock, I don't know. Gil got a knock. Are they going to push the Terror? They're a very aggressive squad.
I don't think they're going to push outside of zone, but they are going to gatekeep the heck out of them. That's for sure. So we'll see. That mini shot was on point. So some great knocks there. Oh, man. Some huge nades and shots down here. Oh, and the finishes just looking beautiful. It looks like Vamp was able to steal one of those kills from 6 Elite, but you just hear just gunfire like crazy.
Let's go Vamp. Talking to T-Weed here today, the manager, the face of the organization. They told me, Dave, today, Vamp, we are finishing in first place. As of right now, they still got the squad alive. They got 2 kills on the board. Nice little position overlooking 6 Elite and the potential to gatekeep straight out of Nepal, making their way into zone.
Vamp, will they clap? That's the question, man. It looks like they're doing a good job of it so far. They do need to crawl into the zone here, so it looks like they are going to have to press up against 6 Elites. We'll see how they opt to try and be able to handle that. 6 Elites, they're really in a big kind of weird position because they're having to focus on every single direction inside the zone. Behind them on the outside, just trying to pick up some kills. So they really need to focus their firepower into one direction, take them out first, and then shift. You don't want to get spread too thin.
Yeah, that's why I really like Vamp's position over 6 Elite. Like, usually you're saying, yeah, they got parts on the compound. Jeff with the 1-2 tap with the star, but this is Vamp's opportunity to third party straight out of Nepal and 6 Elite right here as Jeff is feeling themselves after that 1-2 tap.
My name's Jeff. And they're gone, dude. Woo-wee! So Jeff, I mean, hey, I said not to spread yourself too thin, but when you got a Jeff here on this side, I guess you're feeling pretty good. Actually, no, they need the team because they got the terror coming for them. So Jeff, I guarantee you, he's screaming, "Hey, help, por favor!" And that's exactly what he's seeming to get here. But they got to be careful. Those nades, that was mighty too close. They need to either, start throwing some utility down there to really put some pressure on the terror because the blue zone is on the side of 6 Elite. Jason needs to go help him. He shouldn't be in that angle.
And we see the terror already trying to make a smoke tunnel, right? That coop, I don't know if they're going to use it. It's already smoking, so a couple bullets will take that out. Looks like the terror going to rotate on the opposite end and not take straight up that hill on the lead. And that gave him the angle. That gave Gil the angle right above the smoke to take out Jeff, who has been slaying this game. So that's a huge loss on the side of 6 Elite.
Yeah, and like I mentioned, all of them needed to be on this side to gatekeep the terror, considering that blue zone's coming in this direction. But instead, they decided to split up a little bit, and that just allowed the terror to push up for free. And then now you have the terror that had the advantage of being outside the building, so they know exactly where 6 Elites are going to peek from. Holding this building is going to be tough.
Gil cooking this grenade, and it's going to be even harder because Vamp behind them, slowly closing the gap, slowly creeping up behind this 2-story. That 6 Elite, I'm going to call it their coffin right here because the terror, they're tossing grenade after grenade. 6 Elite, they need to be careful.
Yeah, it's always a big advantage whenever you're outside of a building because you're able to throw utility in there. You know if they want to peek, they have to peek a window. So you're just staring it right there. There's so many different angles you can hold from. So I think the Terror are definitely at an advantage, but 6 Elites opting to take the building and buy themselves some time. Godsend just getting into it right here. You can see Gil, trying to be able to take a peek. Does get turned on. 6 Elites still trying to be able to make a play. Looking to hopefully throw some utility at that broken wall. Yeah, it looks like he's trying to switch and looks like he may be out of nades. So Clay just trying to make some plays. Back and forth going on right here at this final circle.
Yeah, we pretty much have the 3 squads down here and somewhat of a standoff. And then Godsend, they clash up there towards the north with the Chosen. It does look like the Chosen coming out on top of that engagement. So they're going to have the north. They're going to have some time to heal on up. So we cannot count them out, but really all eyes are on 6 Elite right here in the 2-story. You got the Terror on the outskirts. Keep tabs on not only 6 Elite, but also Vamp.
Yo, Gil be feeling himself with that mini. You know he's got to have them taps down. I mean, especially when it's a possible up-close fight. He's got that mini locked and loaded. Oh, what a great shot, though, from 6 Elite. To be able to get that through the window. I'm surprised they were able to get away with that. The Terror are kind of starting to split themselves up a little bit. They got to be careful. That might be a nice bounce from that nade, though. That pre-nade. You can see Brar jumping all over the cross here. So now it's a big fight. Oh, what a shot through the smoke from Jason. That was clutch. So 6 elites not done yet. The Terror really need to group up here if they want to stand a chance.
Yeah, they're all kind of going in their opposite directions. I guess they kept 2 in the back to kind of hold down that angle from up there in the north from the Chosen. Sent 2 into the compound, but BR with the M249 looking to hit these shots through the window. But Jason has been just connecting these UMP shots. Nothing to mess with, that's for sure. And it does look like this opportunity allowed Vamp to rotate towards the north. So it's truly who's going to take this compound for themselves right now.
And there goes the Chosen. So Vamp, they are chilling right now in this zone. They have this game pretty much locked in the bag. It's just really going to be up to who gets third, who gets second. I think that's going to be between 6 elites. That might be a great nade from Jason. He didn't cook it, though. Oh, it's a smoke.
Smoke.
And I think they're both stuck with smoke. Jason's got the UMP, though. UMP OP, but not strong enough when you're dealing against another one. So there is Dildar. This guy made some pretty sick plays last game that I casted, but this ain't going to be strong enough. The Terror, just using that outside angles, like I mentioned, just so strong. And now they're going to have to face Vamp.
Yeah. 4v4, though. Straight up 4v4. The thing is, Vamp, they're healed up, right? And on the opposite end, the Terror, they need to top off. Med's looking pretty low after that fight. Blue zone closing in just a little bit. I don't know. I don't know if that ledge is in the zone. So it might be, but just right there. The thing is, they're pinned down, though. How do they rotate out of there?
If the zone shifts towards Vamp, it looks like it's shifting between them both.
In the middle.
Yeah, the middle. So it's going to be just open field. So here's how you rotate out of there, Dave. Right?
Yeah.
You got to hit those. That's how you get out of there.
That's the only option.
That's
your only option.
That's it. I mean, bro, you're out in the open, right? You just got to hit them shots. That's really it. So if they're clutch enough and they got them flicks on point, they're going to stand a chance. If they don't, Dave, it's over, baby. It's over because they're going to have to run in the dead open.
They're going to need to recognize Runt's position as well because now Vamp got that 3-1 split going here. Runt's with that off angle. It could be huge from the side of Vamp. It could be.
You know what they should do? You know what they should do is right now the Terror should be looking to bait somebody out. I would probably pass like almost everything over to some other players and then possibly like send out one of the players like BRR. And the second they send them out, be ready to be able to hit some shots back in return. And yeah, just fully peeking like that ain't going to do it. You had to make a bait play or something happened. And I think at this point, they're just going to lay down and die to blue zone. Yeah, I'm not trying to give them any more points than necessary. Vamp going to take that dub. So yeah, the Terror, they were stuck in a have to make, I think, an inventive play. And they just opted to try and just do something crazy. And they got taken out pretty quickly. Yeah.
Yeah, very challenging situation to be in, especially because this is PMCO group stage. This might be the first time that a lot of these players are playing at this level of competition. Regardless, though, the Terror past 2 games, real aggressive when it comes to kills. Their team fights have been on point. It's just, you had that little lip to work with. You were forced to push over. What are you going to do? What are you going to do? If you had some grenades, maybe some smokes, maybe use that. But they just used all that utility in that last compound fight a couple moments ago. So, Vamp, GG's. I was telling you. They're telling me, Dave, we're going to be number one at the end of today. First 2 games, I was like, I don't know about that, champs. I don't know. But now, with this win, that's 15 points in the pocket for that chicken dinner. Not sure how many kills they have, but they might have that chance to take it back.
Well, let's find out exactly how many they got. Let's take a look at the match ranking here. And I got to say, though, like I mentioned earlier, Dave, the Terror, the comeback kings, bro. Bad first game, chicken dinner second game, second place in the third game. These guys, I'm telling you, they got it down like that. Vamp getting 9 kills in total. So 24 points they're going to add to that score, and that's going to be a huge jump for them.
The Chosen, 2 games in a row, at least minimum 10 kills. Last game, I think that like 11 or 12. Yeah, this game, 10. So the Chosen, they all called each other up on that OnePlus today, OnePlus 9. They're like, listen, what are we gonna do today, squad? And they said we're gonna get in the game and we're gonna get a lot of kills. All right, that's the game plan here, and they're doing it. Group D, they're doing it.
You know what they said, Dave? They said, well, yeah, we got that OnePlus 9, but we about to be that OnePlus 9 Pro, dude. That OnePlus 9 Pro, Dave. That's what I'm talking about.
That's the game plan. Yeah, and you can't hate it. Like, it's working. It is obviously working. Noel, you mentioned that's a surprise we saw in the kill feed.
Yeah.
I believe they got gate kept over there on that west side because we saw them early game. Look at that, 6 kills. So, they were popping off, but they just got denied and taken out 13th, I would assume, or 14th because 0 placement points there.
Can't lie, though. I mean, it's pretty insane to see a team in the first page with 0 placement points. So, I mean, they were definitely popping off at the start. Just, unfortunately, I'm not sure exactly what happened, but they got caught. Moving on to the second page, though, you're going to see right now, look, Noel with 0 placement points, 6 kills, out totaling everybody else by double. Like that just goes to show you how huge kills can really help offset if you have a bad game like that.
And you know who's really, upset right now? I think you know.
Baba.
I think YouTube
Baba.
chat, Team OP, they've been having a rough go here today. Their first day playing here in group stage, 2 back-to-back chicken dinners. And I was like, man, nothing stopping this team. But, one more game to go. We'll see. They need some points, all right? They need some points to kind of make that comeback here today, in my opinion. So we'll see. I think what's happening is the YouTube chat, we're not giving them enough energy. So I think we need some more Team OP spams in the chat right now. And I think that's what they're really missing out on here. So after they get some more of that energy in the chat, I see a chicken dinner coming all day, baby. For the final game, Erangel, by the way.
That's what I want to see. That's what I want to see. Because you know what I don't want to see? Baba, nada, dude. The goose eggs. Yeah. I don't want to see that. Baba's got to come big. Team OP got to come strong and bounce back after this. There's still 1 match left to go. And if you, are able to have a crazy good performance, you could easily bust out, a good solid 20 plus points. So that'll be a huge up in the leaderboards here. So I know that after we come back from the break, we'll take a look at the match rankings. I'm looking interested to see how that's going to end up turning out. But 3 matches down, 1 left to go. Still a lot of action left to be had.
That is true. So far, like you said, we've been seeing the Baba Nada. Hopefully this final game, we'll see the Baba Yada as they get that final chicken dinner. So, ladies and gentlemen, don't go anywhere. We'll be right back after this break.
See ya.
The OnePlus 9 Pro.
The OnePlus 9 Pro. Oh my God, this phone feels incredible. The best processor, 120 hertz, 12 gigs of RAM, and a Hasselblad camera. What more could you want?
The hyper touch on this bad boy is phenomenal.
The best model of OnePlus phone I have used to date. the OnePlus 9 Pro.
The OnePlus 9 Pro. Oh my god, this phone feels incredible. The best processor, 120 hertz, 12 gigs of RAM, and a Hasselblad camera. What more could you want?
The hyper touch on this bad boy is phenomenal.
The best model of OnePlus phone I have used to date.
What's up, everybody? Yo, we're back here. One match left to go here for today. I'm Hot Jukes here with the legend Mustache Dave. And man, I said it before we went back to break that we were going to see the leaderboards. And let's just pull it straight up, baby. Let's pull it straight up and see where these teams are holding themselves at. Because I know it's exactly what everybody wants to see. And guess what? They're going to see Vamp now in first place. B-Town. See ya. Yeah.
Vamp. How do they keep doing it? I don't know. I'm becoming a fan. I'm hoping this next game they don't throw and they get top 3 so that they can keep this spot. Godsent, also big fan. Consistent though. They've been holding down their top spot here all night long. One more game to go. You know, Godsent, they're looking to make that 0 during that winner chicken dinner column. They're looking to make that a 1. So it's going to be a race. Can Vamp get another chicken dinner? Will Godsent get their first chicken dinner here? But this is top 8, baby. Top 8 is who will be making it to those PMCO Finals. So after this last game, each team, Hot Jukes, they only got 4 more to go, baby.
Ooh, that's crazy, man. I'll tell you what, though. Yeah. I'm excited to see the terror up here, dude. They have flown up this leaderboard. They were in like the 18th place at the start, you know? So for them to pop off like this is just insane. 89 points now, 5th place. Team OP still in 6th, considering that they pulled out a big goose egg in the last game, is honestly pretty insane. Like if they had a decent game in the last one, we would probably see them in top 3. Oh, no, we wouldn't probably. We would. Yeah. We would see them like in either first, second, or third. Or first, yeah. So that's pretty insane right there. One good game here in this last one, though. I wouldn't be surprised if we do see Team OP in the top 3.
Yeah, just looking at Team OP, what was it? Game 2, they got 4th place. Looking at Team OP, Game 1, they got 2nd place with 12 kills. Okay. So really only last game was the goose egg. So Team OP definitely looking to kind of even it out, level it out here today and get those consistent points here that they have been acquiring all day long. Let's check out that second page, though. Who is on the hunt? Who's on the come up? What squads are really going to be coming into their last 4 maps with that pressure to make that top 8 spot here?
Straight out of Nepal, The Chosen, and Better Than You. Those are the squads that I see that have not played 8 matches yet. And considering, like, straight out of Nepal, they have 68 points. Onada's got 71. That's only a 3-point difference. So they could easily make it to the first page here. All they got to do is have a half-decent performance. And that's pretty much seeing goes similar for, The Chosen as well. Good game here. Shouldn't be a problem. Better Than You and on down, though, I think definitely need to step it up as we move on over to the next page and see exactly how bad these teams need to get moving on.
Yeah, The Chosen, last game, 10 kills. Game before that, 11 kills. And then The Chosen, game 1, 2 kills. So they've been, ramping it up here a little bit. Definitely getting those kills. But looking at these teams, like you like to put it, with one more game to go with that 7 next to their name, Rejects, Knoll, 6 elites. 6 elites had such a position last game.
Yup.
They were taking shots though. I think they bit off a little more than they can chew though, right? Because they were taking shots at multiple teams in the southern area. I mean, in your opinion, like 6 elites, that spot, that compound, what would you have done if you were in their shoes?
I mean, I called it like right off the bat when as soon as you saw Jeff like up there putting in so much work, that's honestly an anomaly. Like one player shouldn't be able to get those many kills. It just so happened to work out that he did. At the same time, though, I would have, if I was Jeff and that squad, as soon as I saw Terror's position and considering that they were outside blue zone, I'd be like, yo, all of you need to come to me and we need to gatekeep them right now. they would have been able to get some easy, solid kills, and then they would have had that entire side of the map to themselves. But just because they decided to go and back off on into that building, it allowed the Terror to push up for free and just, lawn mow them. But let's take a look at the last page as you tell me what you think about that.
What do I think about the last page here? Well, it's Castle. We've been seeing a lot of early game fights from them, actually. Same thing with Godplay and Featuring. So all three of these teams at the bottom, I appreciate the fact that they've been trying to get involved early game. I do. I truly do. Like, I appreciate that they've been setting themselves up to take these early fights because they need those points. Like, they need these points so bad, Hot Jukes.
It reminds me of that TikTok, dude. You're not that guy, pal. You're not that guy. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you're, it's just not working, dude. It's just not working. I like you mentioned, I appreciate it. I love to see it as well. Yeah. But at some point, you got to look at the facts and you got to look at the numbers, dude. And the numbers are just showing whatever you're doing right now, it ain't working. So hot dropping or going down center like you normally do, you're not that team. I'm sorry to say it, but unless I would love for you to prove me wrong. And I mean that. Like, I would love to see them just come in the next one and every game going forward just go nuts. But after I have to go off the data and seeing what I've seen so far, and every time that you've done it, it just hasn't worked out. So I would suggest landing somewhere else, somewhere safe, and then just kind of going from there.
Yeah, I think at this point, it's not so much you're trying to prove yourself to everybody else and the leaderboard. I think you're trying to prove yourself to yourself, right? You're trying to, let yourself know that, hey, I made it here. I qualified for PMCO. I tried my best, and now I'm going to go into my final 5 games giving it my all because you never know. Like, one chicken dinner, even if they don't qualify top 8, getting a chicken dinner in this lobby, like, that's a big accomplishment. And not only that, like, they could regroup after PMCO and try again. That's the beauty of PMCO. Like, if you don't make it this time around, and we've seen a couple of these other players, right? Like, they played last PMCO, didn't make it. They're back here again, and they're doing better. So take it all as a learning experience. So I think the best thing they can truly try to do here, just get that chicken so you could go back and, tell everybody, hey, we got chicken in PMCO group stage, baby. What about you?
That's right. Take it to the bank. I mean, I think that mentality is solid, but it also could be a little toxic because, I mean, at the end of the day, if you just keep on trying to prove yourself and it don't work, the only thing you're going to prove is, hey, guess what? I have proved that we ain't making it to PMPL. You know what I'm saying? So, like, if you want to be, at some point, you got to be like, yo, let's mix this up, baby. Come on. Let's mix it up and try something different. But at the same time, if you do have that mentality and it works out and you hit that 3, then you're a champ, baby. You're the champ. You're able to put on Twitter, Dave, in your bio, PMCO chicken dinner, baby. You know what I'm saying?
I can't say that. So I'm just saying that right there, you're a little leveled up ahead of me. So if you get that chicken dinner, put that in your bio, I'll drop that follow if I'm not already following, by the way. And hey, talk about how to get that follow. Talk about leveling up. You got to have that flagship performance and that immersive 120 hertz display. New technology right there. See, Hot Jukes? I see the new technology. That hyper touch built specifically for gamers. The OnePlus 9 and 9 Pro. Well, that's going to be these teams' best shot at climbing up them leaderboards.
Yes. It is beautiful. Oh, I love this thing. You guys gotta get your hands on one. That's for sure. It is sick. And you know what else is sick, Dave? And we got one match left to go, Dave. I think we are less than just a minute away now to getting this started. I know that every single time we see in the chat, everyone's like, just play. Start the game, dude. It is what it is. We got to make sure these players are locked and loaded. And it looks like they're finally getting the button that plane ready to get started, man. Erangel, we're headed over there, dude. Let's get it going, Dave. Let's get it going. Where's the zone going?
No, I was going to ask you. I was going to put the spotlight on you. I was wrong last game.
I beat you to it, dog. I asked you first. I asked you first. Oh, no, okay. It's going to go military base.
Yeah,
I want a military base circle.
Okay.
Why not? Toxic. Okay. Toxic jukes in the house.
Military base. Military base. Let's see. Will Hot Jukes be right here? Will he be able to put in his bio, I beat Dave with the crystal ball? Because I know I lost last game. So, ladies and gentlemen, we got about 8 more seconds to go. They are loading up. They are strapping in. They're getting their parachutes on. They are pumped and ready to go for the final map of tonight. Let's get in the game.
And we're off, dude. Oh, Dave, look where the zone is. The playback is starting. Right over military base, bro. Military base. Got that OnePlus 9 Pro right up front and center. These players are ready to go, Dave. They're ready to go.
And I'm not gonna lie, with the plane path, there is a good chance, right, of having circle number 1, at least favor down here. There's a high chance. The chance of meatballs as well. And you know what? A couple teams, they do like to drop down here, and I see the parachutes. I'm counting 4 different squads already just dropping out the plane here. Looks like Team OP might actually be going towards military base. Got a squad heading over there to Nova. So we might have some early fights here. That's what the people want to see. And you know what? These teams might give the people what they want to see here in the final map.
Come on. I guarantee you the people being Team OP fans, they are begging for a military base circle. Come on, guys. Put it in the chat right now. Let's put it into existence. Team OP military base circle. Are we going to see it? We're going to find out here in just a few seconds. And we see everybody. Man, dude, no one's headed towards Gatka.
It's because Span Cargo's not here. Team OP.
Yikes.
Not enough energy out there. It was close. You can tell because you see right there, the north tip of the military base is touching it. It's touching it. Oh, bad boy clutch, though. We got a hot drop situation down here. Bad boy clutch already tagged and bagged. Rejects. They got the man. UMP on the roof here with them spotty senses. And, Walls Castle. At least
going up against
up this time.
Yeah, I got to give it to the rejects, man. Going to have a big fight against free points. There's one right there. And he's peeking. Oh, it moved just in time. So that is a tough break right there. The man trying to catch that angle once again. Yeah, Walls Castle pretty stuck here. They do already have one member down. Bad boy clutch. They got to make some plays.
Bad boy clutch is still the best name in the lobby, though. Like, if that's their Twitter
handle. That's
sick.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is sick. Like, I can see Bad Boy Clutch pulling up in a Lambo, right? Like, you got to. Or a McLaren. McLaren or Tesla. Yeah, definitely.
What's the acronym for Bad Boy Clutch?
So, looking around, rejects. They're going to be getting the Tommy guns. This is going to be Pachinki. There is a team in Zarki.
Zarki is where it's at, bro. I want to see a Zarki finish so bad. Oh, man, that would be great. It's always been a dream of mine. I haven't seen one in way too long, but if I was able to see one, I would be I'll explode on this chat. I'll tell you what, I'd be so hyped. But for now, we're still looking at Pachinki as we watch Walls Castle just try to survive.
And they're going to have to try their best because you got the man over here. And that's the thing. Walls Castle, they're not really moving around. Meanwhile, rejects, they're making sure to get all the loot that they can get here. So you have to assume Walls Castle, their whole kits aren't going to be the most optimal here as rejects slowly but surely closing in around them, trying to catch them off guard. And this is early game, and I'm looking at the mini-map. There's nobody near this fight in Pachinki. So rejects, they have all the room right now, all the room to rotate, use the town, use the buildings to their advantage, and really catch Walls Castle off guard here.
Yes, sir, indeed. And Walls Castle trying to pre-nade this. They have landed multiple times inside of Pachinki, so I mean they have to know this side of the map really well. I mean, at the same time, I mean I think they've gotten punished every single time they land center. So we'll see if they're able to kind of pull something out. They're down a member, so they're at a big disadvantage. But at the end of the day, you can still make a play and make something happen. And that's exactly what they need to do.
And that looks like what they're trying to do. Walls Castle had 1 point last game. Game 1, Game 2, 0 points. So even if they can get a kill and a flush, that's a small victory, in my opinion, at this point. At 1 point, those 2 points that they might be able to acquire here, you got to take the small W's when you can. But Rejects, look at the movement. They're working together. They're moving as a unit. They're trying to clear out every single room. And it's only a matter of time before they run into the trio, Walls Castle.
The Rejects coming. Dun, dun, dun. They're coming for you, man. I mean, they are looking to make some plays. You know for a fact that he ain't picking that window, so they're just trying to catch someone slipping. I mean, this is the problem, though. Walls Castle, they are peeking different angles here, but they're doing it. I mean, the Mata is in a decent position with Sadako, but at this point, I would just dip, dude. I mean, this is gonna be a tough fight to win.
I guess if they could try to dip over that hill. Right
Yeah, I mean, they can back off. They can back off and then go head over
Yeah.
to church, you know?
The church up here. Yeah, get a little
Yeah,
background
so-
advantage. But they spent so much time pinned down right here, like hunkered down, setting up a
But-
defense that now that's just not an option.
That defense don't work no more, though. It used to work, you know, like 2 years ago, but it don't work anymore when just, like, holding it split, 1-1-1. If they just push up, like, if he had 3 people push up on that bottom door, he's getting clapped. Like, the Mata doesn't have a chance because he's just going to get 2v1 and 3v1'd. So, like, this kind of split,
look at the
holding
man.
angles.
Go for that
Yeah.
off angle. Oh, man.
Yup.
The man definitely has a sweet angle now on those windows.
Oh,
You see
man.
those shots starting to pop out.
1 HP. They're going to send it down. Yep. 3 points, bro. There's one. Here come. Oh, actually, they had one, so that's 2. Where's number 3? Where are you? Get over here, number 3. There you are. There, 1 HP. Oh, it secured 1
They
point,
got
though.
a point. They got a point. That's what I'm talking about.
Hey! That's what I'm talking about.
Good
Heck yeah.
stuff.
There you go. There you
Good
go.
stuff. Small W's. That's all you could ask for at this point. And honestly, they spent so much time looking at this angle right here that we're seeing right here that the Storm's looking at, that the man was able just to wrap around. And once when the man had those angles to those windows, we saw Jason was chunked down to about 1 HP. And, you know, the knock didn't even come out, but the man knew. The man knew they hit them shots, and immediately the rest of the Rejects just, they collapsed. They collapsed. Good communication, though, from the Rejects as well.
That was a great way to do it. I mean, especially after those shots, they know that they're already 1 down, and you lit 1 up. Yeah, let's just send it. They're at a huge disadvantage.
Yeah.
And the big thing, though, is that they didn't get the nickname Dave, right? Because they were not free points. Like, they took 1 with them. So it's, you know, you lose a member if you want 4 points. Or, you know, you get 4 points, we get 1. Something like that. But it ain't free. And that's good. That's a good thing.
That is a good thing.
Right?
And
Yeah.
that's a good thing. Yeah. Buy one, get one free. Good stuff. And
You don't want to be free. Yeah. Buy 1, get 4, you know, or something like that. The number
It's a
4
deal.
special. That's what we'll call it. Yeah, it's a deal.
it's a deal. And for some reason, this Erangel game, like, yeah, that fight happened, but it feels slow. I'm not going to lie. And it's because a lot of teams are actually on the outskirts of this zone. Remember, we had a team in Zarki. We had a team Severny. We had a team in North George. And even in Hospital, like, all uncontested. Yeah, here, perfect example. All uncontested. So not a lot of action
Crazy.
happening early on. But look at that, though. Pakistani Rising Stars, they're trying in Milta to possibly gatekeep. But the next zone goes up. So they're already popping their vehicles. They don't want to risk it. And I'm trying to see, like, are there any potential fights that might happen here? There's still a lot of room between these different squads and a lot of different obstacles when it comes to terrain. So I wouldn't be surprised if this Circle 2 is a little quiet as well.
Man, we got so many squads on the outskirts. We got one team so far on the outskirts, they're back in the lobby, Dave. This is insane. You know, it's insane to see. Like, these guys are playing it very careful, very concise. They're not looking to make any mistakes at all. And I got to say that that's pretty good. Oh, bait shots. Bait shots? Oh, my goodness. You don't really see that too often. So, yeah, he's like saying, hey, guys, come on over. Push on up to us. That's confidence right there from Team OP.
Yeah, Team OP, definitely the team that everybody has their eyes on here tonight, especially after last game. There's 0 points. So they're looking to get some points here. They're going to be a little south of school, right between school, Pachinki. Looks like the Chosen did drive right past them, but Godsent. They're pulling up in the general area over here. God play there as well. So there are definitely a couple teams kind of around for the time being Team OP. I don't know if anybody will crash Team OP quite yet. But Godplay, they're taking up your favorite spot. I know you talk about that Potato Hill position a lot here. I'm curious if they can hold it down.
Yes, sir, indeed. We'll see if they're going to be able to. Godsend heading over to this beautiful complex right here. This one's a very tough one to push on. Godplay holding this dip, this little bowl right here around top of Potato Hill. Not a bad position as well. And everyone's just kind of getting set up. I mean, this is really classic Erangel. I think that's why so many teams just love this map so much, because there's a lot of real estate. Everybody knows the kind of vehicle rotations and passing, and they're just able to kind of navigate through the map so well. So, just everyone just playing it really quiet, safe, and just kind of getting ready for end zone.
And don't forget, after this game, all these squads, only 4 more games to go. So I definitely understand why it is so passive, why they are playing so safe, because they know for a fact, like, they can't afford to get taken out in 13th place, in 14th place. 0 points. Like, you cannot afford a 0-point game at this point. And that's just the truth here. So I'm looking at Vamp playing Ultra Edge here. What they will be able to accomplish here, because right in front of them, I believe, is going to be the Terror, and that's your team here tonight. The Terror has been popping off, so we'll have to pay attention to kill feed.
Man, they have flown up the leaderboards. I always love to see a squad that can struggle at the beginning, but just come back super hard. That comeback factor is it's a hard badge to get. That's for sure. It's probably one of the hardest ones to do so. So the Terror have proven before that that's what they can do, and they did it again tonight, which is a really good, consistent sign for me. Next circle, finally about to pop on over. We're going to have a hard shift, Dave? Mm-hmm. Or is it going to center up?
Hopefully. Honestly.
Mix it up.
Hopefully. Okay. I'm not opposed to that. Yeah, Pachinki, not a hard shift, but Pachinki, right?
Good, clean fun.
Rejects. Yeah, the rejects can just chill. They don't really need to push out. They can keep holding down those buildings, because I wouldn't be surprised if a couple teams actually opt to just crash into Pachinki and call that home for some time being. And yeah, that's what we're seeing right now from Godsend.
Yep. Called it out. That's always tough. When you get Pachinki for free, you have to decide, like, where do we want to hold it? They could have held that edge and try to catch teams pushing in, but instead they seem to have moved away pretty much. Yeah, you see Godplay over here inside these warehouses across from Pachinki. They're going to post up right here. Cypher got that mini. Just everybody just trying to get set up.
I like Godsend's position a little better if we're just looking at the Pachinki teams, because I guess rejects as well. They're like playing the edge of Pachinki, right? So to me, that's them looking ahead a couple zones, and they're ready to evacuate Pachinki if it doesn't get favored. Because sometimes you see teams just crash right into the heart, into the center, into the middle. And 9 out of 10 times, like, it just doesn't work out, because, obviously the zones kind of fade away from Pachinki. So I like that. I like Godsend's position there on the edge.
It's going to be interesting to see which Pachinki team, which side reigns superior. We'll find out a bit. We got a little battle, though, here on top of Potato Hill, featuring, here comes Null as well, rotating on over to his team. So that one shot is going to be able to help him out quite a bit. But now featuring, yeah, they are in trouble. I think you see Null just turning up the aggression. The second they got that initial knock, they are flying towards featuring. A great angle, though, from Jersom.
Yeah, we saw Formal try to jump up and hop behind that boulder for cover, was not able to do so, but at least their squad mates able to provide that much needed support, make sure they don't get thirsted. And featuring, they still got a duo out there on the outskirts on the opposite end of the smoke, looking to close in to help their squad mates before they get thirsted. Yep, here's that duo using the ledge here to rotate around and try to get behind Noel just a little bit.
They need to start doing it quicker than later if they're trying to save their team. They do have that one teammate that's been hiding in that smoke this entire time. Oh, and Formal has got the DPS out. Oh, he's trying to throw a nade. Oh, instead he catches him out. So Null making a big mistake, and Formal with that DPS not able to do a damn thing with it. Featuring eliminating Null, Dave.
That's a surprise right there. Honestly, that's a surprise. And I think Noel, they underestimated that solo, not that solo, but that snake in the smoke right there. Definitely catching them off guard with the suppressed UMP. So featuring GG right there. 4 points. You get the Tesla. You're taking out Noel, one of the more veteran teams in the lobby when it comes to just experience in general. Besides King A and crew. And talking about the other experienced squad lobby, Wall Street Bets. Yeah, right there on the outskirts. I saw 2 of them. Yeah, Steve-O drove right past this, but I'm surprised 2 of the members from Wall Street Bets are still in this area right here. Oh, did they get spotted on that rotate map maybe? That's why.
Oof, hate to see it, man. You got to check that grass, dude. You got to check that grass, or they're going to smack them ankles, dude. You know, they're gonna smack them ankles and you're gonna stand no chance, man. That's exactly what happened to Noel. So tough to see for them. Wall Street Bets just making a really wide rotation. This is kind of a blind rotate here from Casper. They are down King A, so they did lose the veteran, and they're gonna head straight down into these warehouses that have already been given up as they are moving past Pachinki with this little rotation. I mean, this is a tough rotation for sure. So many teams are going to be set up.
Yeah, and they're trying to follow Steve-O, right? But Steve-O is 500, maybe 600 meters away. So if they want to follow that same rotational path,
he's dead.
Steve-O's dead, yeah. But the pathway, right, is right in between a lot of teams that it's going to be a challenge. And I believe they're feeling that right here as they're going to be popping out the US, throwing out some smokes, and just trying not to be spotted first here. That's it.
That's a super risky rotation, honestly, from them. Like, I would have much rather seen them just kind of leapfrog and just kind of find their way in than just blind rotate. And now they are just getting absolutely slammed. Terror having Pachinki Hill to themselves. They got a great position in this one. Wall Street Bet's still alive, though. So not out just yet, but they are in a tough spot. Oh, that nade from the mountain? Oh, I love to see it.
It bounced too.
Yeah,
it bounced
with that kind of mountainside, you can throw it far as heck. Here he goes. I think he might have thrown it a little bit earlier. No, not able to do it.
Did we got another one?
Bro,
so
these are some of the
just driving
sickest
right
nades
by
to hit in the game.
This US definitely helped, though, block some of that splash damage. So you really need to kind of thread that perfectly. But regardless, Wall Street Bets, the duo alive over there, they're not moving. There's nowhere for them to go right here. Not at all. Like, they're stuck.
Not at all. So here comes 6 Elite here on this side, trying to hold it up against straight out of Nepal. They're holding the absolute edge of the circle, dealing with that snake play. They did just have one dropped. Straight out of Nepal, trying to gatekeep them. And you can see the smokes coming out real quick for Sicily, trying to buy some time. Next circle, this is going to be an interesting one here. If it does hard shift, it's going to be, if it hard shifts south, oh man, that's going to be so rough for Team OP, Vamp, and all these squads.
You know, Wall Street Bets has their fingers crossed. And they're going to be right there on the edge, but you called it. Team OP, you got Vamp, you got 6 Elite, straight out of Nepal, and even Self-Made. 5 spots, just all stacked on top of one another right here. All with the same problem. Not in the zone. They need to move, and we can see bodies hitting the deck already.
Hey, look at the kill feed, man. Look how many teams are left. I guarantee you, once this circle closes, we're gonna see half the teams gone with this kind of zone shift. All these teams have to fight each other. They can't just push up in for free. And look at this, self-made, put some good shots downfield. Again, straight out of Paul. They did a great job at being able to back themselves off. This could be a really good nade. It looks pretty. And it is pretty.
Fluffy.
Gets a two-piece with that one. Big.
Let's see what else Spin can do.
That's an eviction
Spin
notice.
with the
You know that
third one.
is.
The third one. Ah,
A little short.
short.
The run over. What? Oh, and they both got clapped. Oh, he helps. He's still 1 HP. He survived. And they got taken out. Self-made.
Oh man,
dude. Straight out of Nepal. Literally half an HP. Look at that. And he didn't even get the heal off either. Yeah. Oh, that's gross.
All that commotion. You got 6 Elite making the pull up right behind you. Like, I like Vamp's position though. Vamp with that 2-2 split, they're trying their best to hold out as long as possible to try to take advantage of all these players working their way uphill.
You hear that Groza popping out from Vamp as well, so they are kidded out of their minds. And they're just going to go straight into Gatekeep City, getting some free points. Trying to collect
Baba's
them. Yeah, straight out of Nepal.
Baba.
Oh, Baba
2.
is. Woo, there you go. Baba putting in work.
Baba.
Nice little kills. He said that. Baba Nada, Baba Yaga, dude. Look at that. Putting in them kills.
And not only that, Baba's going to get a crate too. Crate. So we'll see that level of gear definitely come in use as that crate might have been a crate to bait. And Vamp still 4 up. Remember, Vamp are looking to close out today and keep their first place position on the overall leaderboard. So right now, 8 teams to go. If they get taken out right here, that's 1 placement point. That's why we see them playing a little slower with this 2-2 split. We'll see what the deal when the front lines can do, though, because the Chosen have been fragging out here tonight, so it's going to be a challenging fight.
Next zone about to pop as well. I'm going to keep an eye on that map right there. It's going to be really critical to see who's going to have a chance at winning this. And you can see the Chosen out in the open. That rhymes. And able to survive a little bit longer. The zone goes up to Godsent. So a tough break for Team OP as well as Godplay. Quite a few teams here. Vamp, they need to move in as well. And they're going to have to get a team fight going against the Chosen here. Whoever wins this, you're going to be able to hold this side of the circle.
Yeah, this is a huge zone for Godsent trying to take that first place spot. Remember, Godsent, I don't think they have a chicken dinner yet. They're looking to get their first chicken dinner here. Vamp, they need to take the fight with the Chosen to get into the zone. And Solo popping out right there onto AZ, chunking down AZ, but Landland trying to return that molly. That gift, stop the push. Solo running right into the gun barrels of Landland.
Crazy shots going back and forth. Chosen just stuck switching guns. Does get punished, down to 1 HP. Vamp just doing such a great job fragging out here from this side. They're going to go for this res right here. Unknown trying to get onto Solo really quickly. The thing is, this nade from King Hua could be huge if he's able to get it. You can see this teammate is letting him know exactly where he is, and he does get it off with enough splash damage to get that knock. And they are trying to get this finish on the Vamp. Only 2 remaining members. And they are holding on for dear life. 1 bad nade, though, and it's over for them.
We see 312 trying to toss out these smokes,
reset.
not only on their squad mates, but also on the enemy to block those sight lines. So both sides trying to get the reset. King actually got the reload as well on that MG3. Oh, let's see. Looks like Vamp, they're like,
Surviving.
Okay, I don't think we can go this way. Yeah, let's not push that way, fellas. They're trying to use the hill, the high ground to their advantage and rotate around the smokes.
They want to keep 3 up for sure. So considering that they had 1 down, they just opted to just do a full reset and just throw a nade to get a knock. Beautifully done. Only 1 member left of the Chosen. He's looking in the complete opposite direction. And look what they're doing. They're pushing up all 3 together, pre-firing. That's exactly what you're supposed to do. I mean, that is textbook. You don't give, no matter, I don't care which player that is or how good they are. They stand no chance when you play it exactly like the way they did. The terror.
Dude, Godplay showing up. Godplay on the last page. Godplay are finally showing up. Well, let's see, though. They need to watch this grenade because OP, they still got some skin in the game. 5 kills so far. 4 teams to go.
Bro, Team OP have 9 kills, and Debilitator has 5 by himself.
5.
This dude is clapping. He's going to go for a heal strat here. He wants to buy himself just a little bit more time into this blue zone. Try to play a little bit tricky. Hopefully get an extra little piece of placement. Yeah, I don't think he's going to be able to actually move into this zone. Yeah, he knows it. So he's just going for a heal strat. I didn't get to see how many first aids he actually had, but he is just spamming that button right now, just trying to buy some time. Maybe able to sneak a placement from it.
12.
That's risky.
12.
That's a risky peek. He's got 2 left.
And you know what?
Here goes 1. And the other has probably got like 4 seconds left to it right now, so he's going to have to start moving. Yep. And he's going to run up the wrong way. Yeah. See ya. Can't blame him, though.
So
That's still a
3-12,
4th
the
place
last one
finish.
alive.
And crazy kills.
Yeah, that's their best performance yet, too. So,
It's a great game.
great game. 3-12.
3-12 trying to make plays.
Applying some damage, swapping on over to their weapon. The Groza got a knock on a Blinky. Not the Thurston. This is the furthest God play have been so far in their game. 2nd place, a bunch of kills, but look who they're up against. Godsent looking to get that winner chicken dinner here.
Who's going to win? God sent or God play? That's the question. God play do have more kills, so they're big chilling regardless. But they do not want to get wiped by Gonset and just give them all those 4 points. Chanel trying to get healed up. Looks like he's only got some bandage. I was trying to save his first aid for now. Godset definitely have the advantage position-wise. So God play, they're going to need to pull something out big if they want to be able to win this one.
Yeah, and I think Jack can really open this one up. Jack pushing right here to his position with their buggy. And it looks like the other 3 squad mates are going to be taking the distraction, the bait, and Jack's going to be within grenade range right here. Might actually work their way up this hill and look right on top of God play trying to survive. Meanwhile, Trey approaching on the opposite end right here.
Yeah, God play's done. They don't stand a chance here.
Oh, Trey was
honesty,
taken down, though.
Oh, it was, but I mean, I think that just considering where they're how stuck they are in that one spot with zone closing, Godsent, you're just gonna throw utility and just make it so tough for them. 1 nade is all it takes. They just haven't found it yet.
Ooh, this is just a mini red zone. You got grenade, you got balling. Nemesis making their way uphill, trying to complete that final form here tonight. What was promised? Be peeking on over the hill, going for that spray with the M4, swapping on over to that UMP, connecting on one, connecting on another one. Their squad mates right behind them with that support to make sure they get that winner chicken dinner. Godsent. Nemesis 2 kills, Trey 1 kill, Salt 3 kills, and Jag 1 kill that game. That was their game to win. They had the building up there to the north. They were just chilling, big chilling, letting everybody else take each other out. And then, you know, when they needed to, they showed up. They said, hey, we're alive, 4 up. How's everybody doing?
Take it to the bank, baby. I mean, you just saw seeing their position and just seeing how much of a disadvantage Godplay was at and understanding that they're going up against Godsent. I was like, yeah, they don't stand a chance. Now, if it was another team that, you know, wasn't as experienced, maybe they could have capitalized on some mistakes. But knowing Godsent, you know that they're not going to do that. So they just executed that beautifully. Were able to finish off Godplay and get the chicken dinner. But this is a huge game for Godplay regardless, considering how many kills they were able to get. And in Team OP, you know, able to sneak into 4th place, had 9 kills, I think, to themselves. So I think we're going to definitely see a little bump up in the leaderboards from all of them.
Yeah, definitely a comeback after the last match for Team OP. I'm curious, Vamp, though, they got 8 kills. 3rd place is 18 points. Yeah, is that going to be enough for them to keep that 1st place? Well, you know what? Let's pull up the leaderboards. Let's check it out. Godsent definitely giving them a run for their money. So I'm real curious to see who's going to be up there. And Vamp still finishing the day strong here. 1st place position in the group stage rankings.
Sheesh. Beautifully done. And then guess what? Godsent in 2nd place. Team OP in 3rd with that performance. And honestly, if they just didn't have that bad 3rd game, they could have easily been in 1st place. So it does happen. It does happen. It's tough. But regardless, I mean, hey, top 3, you got to be happy with that. I mean, there's nothing to shake your head at. That's for sure.
Top 3 with 4 more games to go. So, I'm looking at B-Town.
This is close, dude.
It's close, but coming into their final game day, they're definitely feeling good, right? Like, they're definitely feeling good because remember the goal, top 8. Top 8 will move into that PMCO final, who will be fighting those teams trying not to get relegated from PMPL. So, like, the lobby instantly levels up as well. The competition instantly levels up. So, last 4 maps going to be huge for these teams really trying to prove themselves that they have what it takes to not only qualify, but also have a good chance at beating some PMPL teams.
It's going to be interesting to see. It's going to be interesting to see how these squads want to go ahead and do that. I'll tell you right now, Team OP are going to have the advantage of knowing exactly how many points it's going to take to get into that last one, right? So it's going to be a close one. It's going to be a super close one. Regardless, though, I think you got to be happy with a little, like, I would consider right now, like, Team OP having like a 20-point advantage over 8th. That's a lot, but it's also not a ton, if that makes sense, because they still have to perform well in their last day if they're looking to make it top 8, in my opinion.
Yeah, because on average, you would think that a chicken dinner winner usually gets around 20 points. They get the 15 points for the placement points and maybe 5 points for kills. But let's check in with that second page. Shout out to Taco Lovers, by the way, still on the top 8. Yeah, I'm really rooting for that team because I would get that jersey. Not gonna lie, that little Taco is looking hella cute. But straight out to Paul, this team, man, they a placement point team. They have been just climbing up the leaderboards every single game, slow and steady.
Just chugging along, getting it going. Love to see that. Vibes NA in 15th place down there, or Nada Gaming in 70. I mean, the point difference in this top 8. I mean, look at this. You got 11th, 12th, and 13th, all with 70 points, dude. I mean, they could easily slip their way into top 8 here. So it's going to be a bloodbath in these next 2 days of games. I'm telling you, like, it's going to be so interesting to see.
Chosen with more kill points than actual placement points, and that has to be from today. I think they at least got 25 kills today alone.
Wow.
So
what a day.
So talk about a team. What a day. Talk about a team making a game plan and really executing that plan. They wanted to be a little more aggressive here today. Well, that's exactly what they did. So they're going to have a nice shot, in my opinion. One chicken dinner, boom. You're up there, baby. You're up there, and continue on with that aggressive play style. There's nothing stopping you. So let's check out this next page, because these next 2 pages, well, that's when things start to get kind of sketch and a little uncomfortable for me.
Sure does, man. I mean, honestly, these teams, they'd have to pop off. Godplay, got to give it to them to have a really good game in the last match, considering how low they've been on the leaderboards. I mean, that game, they got 12 placement points, correct? Yeah, because they got second place. So that means they only had 2 placement points prior in 7 games.
That's what it means. That's what it means. And it goes back to kind of our discussion that we had before this game, right? Like, these bottom teams, just try your best at this point. Try to get a chicken. Second place, almost a chicken. Like, you made it this far, so you might as well give it your all every single game. And that's kind of what I saw last game for them. Yeah, I mean, they had good positioning. They were taking good fights. Their best game so far. So you love to see it.
It's going over the last page. I'm going to keep a good close eye on Godplay for the last day of games, because I want to see, like, if that kind of good performance they had in this last one is going to be able to kind of motivate them and transfer over into future games. Look it over, though. I think it's time to put some nails in the coffin, in my opinion, on some of these squads. It's tough. But at the same time, they've made it here this far. They got to be proud of themselves. And then hopefully they're able to take this experience and bring it on to the next PMCOs coming up.
That's all they can do. I'm still going to be looking at Immortal, though, because before PMCO group stage even started, a couple people said, listen, Dave, Immortal NA. And I actually looked at some numbers, and I believe in scrims leading up to this, they were doing pretty well. So, I'm surprised they're in 25th. I'm not gonna lie. I'm surprised they're in 25th with all that momentum they had coming into this. So with 4 more games to go, if there was a team on this page that can really make that climb up, I think I would say Immortal. So I'm gonna have my eye on Immortal moving into their last games. You said you're gonna have your eye on Godplay. So these should be some interesting teams to keep tabs on for sure.
Yeah, I want to see if they have that comeback, and then they're going to really need it because at this point, with only 4 games left to go under their belt, they're going to need, because let's say they need 80 points, right? Total.
Wow.
No, I think they need 100. I think they need 100 points to be okay. So for top 8, so 30 points is where they're sitting at. That's 70 points required. And with only 4 games left to go, they're going to need a top 3 finish and kills and some serious kills. Because let's say if they get just placement, top 3, that's only 40 points. They need more than that. So they need, I think, at least 2 chicken dinners, to be honest, and 2 top 3 finishes. And all of them have to have kills if they want to be or making it to top 8.
And the scary thing is, too, talking about our team specifically that we're talking about, Godplay Immortal, tomorrow's their last day, Jukes. Groups A and Group D. So tomorrow is their last 4 games to get, like you said, 80 to 100 points. So,
yikes.
That's going to be hard. Not going to lie. That is going to be hard. Another interesting storyline to follow tomorrow is going to be Vamp. Group D, will they get enough points to make sure that they secure themselves at top 8? Same thing with Team OP. Group D, tomorrow's their last day. So you got Team OP, you got Vamp up there towards the top. They're going to be looking to make sure that they secure their foothold in that top 8 position.
Get that chicken dinner. That's $4,000. That's $4,000 in the books right there. So, man, what a day of games, Dave. This was absolutely huge. Of course, thank you for the OnePlus 9 Pro for putting in so much work here. The best device to move you up the leaderboard. So that's it for the day. Jukes, Dave, we're out of here. Catch you on the next one.
The OnePlus 9 Pro.
The OnePlus 9 Pro. Oh my God, this phone feels incredible. The best processor, 120 hertz, 12 gigs of RAM, and a Hasselblad camera. What more could you want?
The hyper touch on this bad boy is phenomenal.
The best model of OnePlus phone I have used to date.